Okay, we're live.
Oh,
Oh my god.
they where we went. Oh,
This is an Amazon special.
Leave
will
us
say,
a
I
message
think
if you can hear us now. I think
are there people
you should.
on there?
Amazon, it's like
There's
10
8
bucks.
people, yeah.
Oh.
Somebody
So
says
you
My
really
Fair
wanna-
Lady.
Yes.
Solely Nerdtastic said that.
Thank you, my kind
So
person.
did
Yay.
Christian.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry if I
recording
stared at the
episode.
back of my head, but
I heard the back of your head.
We're
What is
gonna
it?
we're gonna get a
Nice
webcam
for
so
the
that we
library.
can like maybe put it up there. So you
Yeah,
can
but
see
like I don't
us.
think you'll be able to
And
see.
our website.
I don't know. We'll see.
Like if we back the table up.
I just blew myself.
My hair is so dirty. Can I tell you I don't remember the last time I washed it? I'm trying to think. I worked. I probably washed it on Monday.
I've never ordered anything from Box Lunch.
I did.
I have.
I have, and I just ordered someone's.
What's the shipping like? Normal?
Yeah.
Normal.
Not bad.
There's also a box lunch at like North Olmsted though, isn't there?
Not at North
I have to
Olmsted.
show you
There's,
guys
there's
South
a brick and
Park.
mortar at South Park, yeah. Which you have a gift card to the bear store there.
that's not a thing.
What's it called? Build-A-Bear. That's a bear store.
Look at this thing. Look at that pooch. That is a well-groomed pooch.
Diddy. Come here. Come here. Come here. Well, now you're showing the internet that you don't like to listen.
He really
He
takes-
usually does.
Yeah, he's a good pooch.
Come here, Foz.
Go get her.
Fozzie Bear, come.
What
You're
is
gonna get in
this?
trouble.
Foz, go. Get her.
Oh, it's for like a pack and play.
Fozzie, come.
Watch him come to me.
Nope. Mama.
Mama.
Sit down.
Guys, you like my new
Show me your
t-shirt?
butt. Look at this too.
This is Cleveland on
It's a
it.
quality too.
I
What
had
do
to
you
buy
got,
it.
Beady?
Look, see me rub myself. It's my hometown shirt.
Okay.
I saw they had it. Like I have to
Do we
have
want
it. So it's
to
called.
give them any of this episode or say goodbye to the
Tell them it's
friends?
on Patreon.
It's on Patreon. You heard her. It's on Patreon.
Yeah, you can see our faces. Oh, duh, you can see our faces there.
You
Wow.
can see Tiffany's face there. You can see all of our faces on the two
I
of
look
you.
scary.
I have a question
No.
for this episode. So
That's
hippogriffs and phoenixes are gonna be able to listen to the episode.
It's Phoenix Eye.
Phoenix eyes.
No, it's not. I don't know what it is.
I know, right? They're gonna be listening to the whole. Are we take since it's like a loose episode? Are we gonna take like
Yeah.
suggestions or questions or anything? Or is that okay?
We usually do when we're live.
I don't
Yeah.
give about those people.
Hey, do
Send us
like they can't hear you.
to movie quest, but for people who would join after I say this, send us book to movie
I
questions.
have Moana songs in my
And
I am Moana.
Yeah,
I know it's not.
Bolt
I don't think that's a song.
round.
Is it? I don't know.
question.
You just
Yeah.
said I have the one in my head.
Because I believe that I can pin this.
So
You're
pretty
welcome.
insane. I'm only on
Okay,
episode
well, you guys
24, and I have yet to see any videos of the Swish and Flick cast. The episode I'm
we
on
get
just
better?
revealed that Tiffany was pregnant. Oh, little Miss Rose.
She's now 4 months old, plus some change.
Oh.
She's so stinking cute.
Darn, I shouldn't watch this. I'm still at the beginning of Prisoner of Azkaban.
That's okay.
Well,
I mean, you know what
this is-
happens.
This is like kind of one that you can go out of order with because everybody's seen the movie. I mean, I would think that if you're this far in our podcast, you've seen the movie.
Correct.
So we're just gonna talk about the movie, pretty much.
Never seen it. You don't know. I wrote, so I'm reading, obviously, Goblet of Fire, and he said something about, oh, he tells a lie to someone. I literally was like, lies! And then underneath I was like, must not tell lies. And then I
Where's the article? Is it the summary?
It is this leak cauldron.
And we're about
That's
to
in
download
London.
from it, right?
Yeah, so I put, you're gonna talk about Lumos Maxima.
Also, do we want to
I'm
start
gonna talk-
recording?
Yeah. Gonna
Now?
talk about the Firebolt. Kate's
Oh,
got the Marauders. I gave
not
you
starting
Diagon Alley and
nothing.
Hogsmeade, meaning like the differences in the scenes there. How like the Diagon Alley experience in the movie is totally different than the book, and then Hogsmeade trips. There's
Is he
only
even in Diagon Alley in the movie?
he goes to the leaky cauldron and sees Fudge.
Oh, sad tweet. The mixer wasn't on.
Oh, funny.
He is there briefly because remember that's whenever he meets the Weasleys. Mr. Weasley pulls him aside and tells him about Sirius. And they're like,
Well, yeah, Leaky Cauldron.
but he doesn't go like into Diagon Alley.
Don't.
Give me
Put it
that.
down. Who's gonna to be annoyed the most by Sarah this episode. Florence, that's who.
Megan Kelly 40 says, tell Sarah I love when people sigh after she makes a bad joke. I think that's mainly me.
They're so used to me saying bad jokes that I'm like, and look at them and they're like, no.
Oh, we started listening last week.
Oh, welcome.
Welcome to Swish and Flip. Welcome. Do you know what that's from? Except it's welcome to
She's
Those
there.
are fantastic beats right
She's
now for the
amazing.
first time. That's awesome.
That movie is thebomb.com.
We just none of my business together.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna like this one better.
This one's good.
I'm talking about the movie. Should we try the butterscotch one tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
The coffee?
Just leave them here, and
Yeah,
we'll do one
yeah.
every time we record it then.
And then we'll just vomit
We'll-
everywhere.
That's not true.
You don't know. Oh. I'm just saying that because, you know,
You're sick.
I like to vomit. So
I only listen during work time
So
to
take it
make
down.
time fly, but now I'm so hooked I actually look forward to go to work just to listen to you guys.
It's awesome.
That's like super. That's like one
Someone-
of the nicest things ever.
Someone that said that about, I'm talking to Tolkien, they're like, I told myself I can only listen when I work out. They're like, but like, they couldn't work out, but I'm looking forward to it now because I hadn't missed a couple of days. They're like, so I can just listen to them. I was like, oh, that's dedication.
This
That's
person
smart.
says
I don't listen or work out.
Christian belts. Oh jeez.
Why are we so quiet again on there?
Oh, I don't know.
We didn't touch anything when we were down
No,
there.
we did not. They say you guys make. Sorry, hold on. You guys are fantastic. Fantastic. Definitely make work more enjoyable, although I'm sure I've been caught laughing at my desk many times.
Speaking of saying things incorrectly, you want to hear what I did today? So I'm reading to Alana, and I picked up that biscuit book, that dog book,
Yeah.
She's not buying a microphone.
and it said, "This is biscuit," was like the first line, and instead of saying that, I go, "Biscuit," and then I couldn't read it because I was laughing so hard. And she's like, I'm holding her, and she's just like, what are you laughing at?
Sometimes when she looks at you, it's like so judging.
Tiffany, she's you.
That's true. I am judgy with my eyes.
No, even Tiffany's really quiet. Why is this?
Yeah, and
let's
that's
listen
not
to
normal.
it. Let's listen to it. Hold on.
Hold on.
Oh, don't.
Here, I'll go just a little bit because you just turned that
Shady.
sound up.
Do you want Hufflepuff socks from Maddie?
I would love Hufflepuff socks. I will pay you.
I like the way you talk into your microphone.
I guess that sounds okay.
Oh, that sounds pretty loud.
And she wasn't even. She was
Sarah
there.
was away from her mic. Okay. I think that we should all get those arms. Because then it can be right
What do we
here.
need arms for?
I love that thing. Oh my
What
god.
did you do?
It wasn't even I'm crying.
You're
I'm
so
like,
loud.
Oh, I don't know what they're talking about.
My God.
She said, "What do you need arms for?"
That was funny.
Sorry, y'all. I'm jealous of this cool contraption. You don't know what it is. Yes, Maddie, she wants socks.
Don't we all?
Least
Tell-
favorite
tell
part
me
of
how
the movie,
much.
housekeeping reward at. Oh, yeah.
What'd you say?
Least favorite part of the movie is the housekeeper lady being roared at. I'll come back later.
I like that the guy isn't the one guy stirring his coffee, reading Hawking's book, Stephen Hawking's book.
You're on it. They're
I'm on
looking
it.
at you right now.
Me scrub my eyeballs. What do you guys think of these earrings? Are they dumb? Can I not pull off stars?
No, I really liked them actually.
Tiffany's not a fan.
I don't like them.
Sam, I am. I don't
I
like
do
them in
not
your
like
ears.
them.
I don't like them on the chairs.
He's gonna make them ASAP for you.
Thank you.
How do you make them?
Okay, guys, it's 7:02. We have to record the episode.
We have to go.
7:02.
Say goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Oh, wow. Azita saying adieu, adieu, adieu to you and you and you. I'd like to stay and
It tastes
try for champagne.
Yes?
No. I also sang that to your child today, but the Doe Deer one.
Would we ever make a car decal?
Sure.
Oh, someone did ask us that, and I was like,
Can we?
Sure.
But I don't know how and where to order it, so don't. That's why I didn't say anything. We'll have to
I
figure
will
that
say
out.
we can't. Whoop.
We will try.
We can try.
can we fix it? No,
Yes,
we can't.
Ready?
Bob the Builder's not a real guy. I'm sure there's a builder out there named Bob, though. I feel like I'm drunk.
Yeah, you can look drunk. Just kidding.
I've been drinking all day with your baby.
That would upset me.
Yeah, that's a pretty thing to do.
I would,
This is
Probably
really
not.
bothering me. Why is this like this? Like, it sounded fine, but why? Whenever it looked like this the last time, it sounded bad.
listen to
Don't worry
it
about
again.
Yeah, but we're
Listen
also
to
not
this
really
listen.
loud. So if I'm gonna get up here and talk really loud and get excited,
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Okay. Everybody talk loud.
Loud.
Not
Woo!
that loud.
there's a baby upstairs sleeping. Well, hopefully.
I hope she's sleeping.
Okay.
Her grandmother's sucking her snot out. Not really. My mom would vomit everywhere. Just letting you know. She had to walk out of the room once. My grandma was brushing her teeth in the hospital, and she was gagging.
No, she was brushing.
No, there was another
Grandma's
time.
teeth. Oh, okay.
This was when she was just in the hospital. She was at Fairview. And she was leaving that day, so I went with her out. It's a Saturday. I was like, I'll hang out with you. And so she gave my grandma like the thing to like brush her teeth with. And I was like, I need to leave the room, like gagged, and like walked out. And so then my grandma's brushing her teeth. Then she looks and she starts laughing. I'm like, well, don't laugh while you're brushing your teeth. You're gonna choke. She goes, are you gonna be sick? I go, no, you're just brushing your teeth.
Yeah,
it's fine.
normal.
My mom is weird.
I'd be sick if you weren't brushing.
Well, like, and she had to work in the ICU all those years. Like, there were times where she would be like suctioning people that were like vented and gagging while she's doing it. I'm like, come on.
Okay, let's start recording.
Let's talk about Star Wars.
Let's talk about Harry Potter.
Who is Snoke? What's your theory?
He's Voldemort.
Bullets and what?
Crossover.
Intergalactic Voldemort.
Intergalactic
I feel bad for everyone listening. This is gonna be, the next 2 days are gonna be crazy because
Yeah.
we literally haven't been together in over a month.
And we're gonna be together a lot.
Are we?
Well,
Yeah.
me, you, and
Oh,
Katie will
God. By tomorrow evening, I'll be like, F out of here.
You guys are gonna take
She loves
a
me.
Laminated
We
cutout
aren't
of
because
my
we don't
head.
have one.
Not tomorrow.
Oh, to
but
New York?
Yes, and I need to be in all the pictures.
I'll stick you on like a. on
It's
the
just-
front. I can stick you on. Where's the Gryffindor one? We'll stick you on that.
So
Slap
curl
bracelet.
up.
Oh, if we slap people with it. I'll wear you on my wrist.
Oh my god.
All the pictures be like.
Me and my bestie going all over New York. Sometimes when I laugh really hard and no sound comes out, you can hear the thing in the back of my throat going. Alright, are we ready?
God.
What are they called? Alright, I'm gonna look at
Doctors.
you.
Henry had a little man here.
This lease is white as snow.
I'm done. Don't hate me.
Are we doing ASMR?
No, I was trying to get my.
Let me tell you,
No,
got sucked into it
no
the other
more
day.
stories.
I'm just gonna say, I got sucked into it.
You guys are saying.
Cheers.
Cheers to blueberry
I almost
coffee.
did.
Blueberry.
Blueberry, blueberry.
Shut up.
It's whatever we did it, but just with coffee. I'm sorry.
Oh, God.
All right, are we ready?
Yes. Are you telling them sorry that they're ridiculous?
No.
I'm watching Megan
I
Phil
don't know.
type.
No.
Hello and welcome to episode 66 of Swish and Flick. I'm Tiffany.
I'm Megan.
I'm Katie.
And I'm Harris.
This episode is sponsored by Vanessa Kingston.
Kingston.
Yeah. Kingston.
Vanessa,
Thank
we welcome
you.
you and thank you.
I'm sorry
Thank
I
you.
added a T to
Thanks,
your name.
Vanessa.
This week, is our final episode on Prisoner of Azkaban, or
Final.
Azkaban,
The Owl's Cabana.
right? We'll be doing
In honor of this being our final
Whoa, we're
episode.
gonna start like that.
I'm sorry.
Tiffany's actually drinking whiskey out of her glass.
In honor of this being our final episode on Owl's Cabana, we will be posting our Owl's Cabana merchandise on our website. Go check it out.
We have a website?
What's that?
Yeah, switchflickcast.com. Go. Now. Look.
What's a .com?
HomeStarRunner.net. It's .com. No, it is.
Yeah,
No.
this commercial.
For HomeStarRunner.com, which I don't even think that's a thing anymore.
Okay. Did you have something else?
I was gonna say that I'm not gonna interrupt you the rest of the episode.
Okay.
All right. We will be doing our book to movie comparison for all of you before we dive into the Hot Cup of Fire.
The Hot Cup of
Yes.
Fire.
Yeah, or Goblet of Fire for all you people who don't know what a hot cup of fire is.
But be careful, because it burns.
Mm-mm.
In and out. Going in.
No.
Oh.
Sometimes it happens.
Okay, Florence. Thank you for showing up though for the final episode of
I'm always
Prisoners.
around.
All right.
Just like a circle.
Let's.
What?
This is
always
this is too much.
I get it.
Anytime we record on a Friday, it's nuts.
It is.
And we haven't been together in a month.
True.
A month.
Like, together in the same room
A month.
recording.
A month.
A month?
A month.
Actually, I think it's been more than a month, if I'm being honest with you.
We're
It's been like a
rounding.
month.
We're rounding like a circle.
No.
Circle of
Yes.
love. All right. So let's get into some weekly profit.
So-
I gave you this one.
You
I'm
did.
excited about it.
Actually, I can't. Shout out to Elizabeth Leclack for sending this to me.
So, does anybody here know what HQ Trivia is?
No.
Is that the thing on your phone?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, on HQ Trivia this Wednesday, November 14th at 9 p.m. is Wizarding World Trivia Night presented by Fantastic Beasts.
The Crimes of Grindelwald.
So, all you have to do is download the app. It's on any app store, Google Play, Apple, whatever. HQ Trivia. The icon is like purple with an HQ in it.
Purple.
You just
Oh,
make
That
it.
was really crappy.
You just make an account, and then at 9 o'clock it goes live, and then you have to listen to this guy who's really annoying talk for like 5 minutes,
Scott.
and then they ask you questions. And they are giving away, with this one, they are giving away $50,000, and you get a movie theater rented out for you and your friends to see the new Fantastic Beasts movie.
When is it going to be rented out?
I don't know.
Mm.
But so what they do, like, okay, so that sounds really awesome, right? $50,000, but it's like $50,000 divided by how many people win all the questions. So usually it's like $1 a person.
What happens if you have no friends and you get a movie theater rented out?
Then it's just you. You can see it all by yourself.
Don't worry, Florence will be there, Sarah.
So everybody
Yeah.
should go and download the HQ Trivia app
It's
and
really
do Harry
fun.
Potter trivia. It is fun. French trivia was the other night.
I'm not kidding, bomb at that. It'd be so good. I don't play trivia though, like on my phone.
It's fun.
Do it.
Okay, I have another weekly profit.
Give it to me.
So the lovely folks over at Expedition Roasters gave us coffee to give away to our listeners. And let me tell you how funny this is, yes.
What kind of coffee?
Well, it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
coffee, it's coffee.
Coffee.
We don't drink coffee, we drink coffee.
And it's not garbage.
No,
So
it's actually very tasty.
I actually have known about Expedition Roasters for a while. Katie and I are big fans of their Disney themed roasts. And
Shout out to the Burkhart.
shout out to the Burkhart Project who introduced us to Expedition Roasters. However, they then came out with a Wizarding World line of coffee grounds, and they have a flavor for each house. So they have a Ravenclaw blend, which is like blueberry. They have Gryffindor, which is chocolate cherry, Slytherin is caramel crunch, and Hufflepuff is butterscotch. We have just tried the blueberry before we recorded, and we all really liked it.
I don't want to try I want to try the caramel one tomorrow, not the butterscotch.
Okay.
Didn't we say that?
No, I said butterscotch.
Oh.
I mean, I think they would both be good. I'm more of a caramel fan, so that's why I drink that one.
That's fine. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But it's really good.
Yeah.
It's
so
not as like it's
sweet.
so
You're gonna
subtle.
smell it more so.
then
Like,
Yeah.
I won't lie, I was a little skeptical. And I genuinely really do like it. I actually want some cream in my coffee.
I tried to tell them that it was not like overly sweet and
You
gross
just-
like most flavored coffees, but they didn't want to believe me.
It's very
like,
good.
It's very aromatic as
Yes.
opposed to like flavor.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
smell it. Like, I could smell it in the other room, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god, it smells like a
Blueberry
blueberry
pancakes.
pancake. And it was really good. I mean, it is
very
really good. I'm
good.
still drinking it.
I'm enjoying it.
So if you guys, so we're giving away a set. We're gonna give away house coffee to one person in each house. I posted something on our Facebook yesterday and asked people to post their coffee selfies, and then we randomized the list and we put your houses with you, and we randomized one from each house, and there are winners that we're going to announce. However, if you don't win, or if you win and you really like it and you want more, they were really kind and gave us a discount code for our listeners. And I'm just throwing this out there so that people don't think that I'm like plugging this to make money or anything. Like, we get nothing for this. They just gave us a code. Yeah, we got some coffee to try, but like, I'm not plugging this coffee so that like we make money off of it. It is just really good coffee.
Correct.
I reached out to them and asked if we could work together, and they sent us some coffee to give away and try, and then they gave us and all of our listeners a discount code, SwishFlick15. Just go on Expedition Roasters website, expeditionroasters.com, and it's 15% off your whole order. So like, you can buy one of each flavor and you'll get 15% off the entire order. It's not just one item, and it's reasonably priced.
And this was so funny because this came out at the same time with, what was the episode called?
I believe I called it Coffee. Sponsor us.
Because in that episode I was like, coffee, sponsor my life or something like that. And then Megan's like, hey, I got a coffee thing. And I was like, what?
Yeah, that's totally.
Yeah, it like came out that week, and I reached out to them like as soon as they posted the picture, pretty much. Like,
It was awesome.
hey, we should work together.
And
So.
just so if you, because I, out of the four of us, I'm the one that is the most boring when I'm drinking coffee. They do have like just plain regular coffee. So if you decide like, oh, I want to try their coffee, but I don't do flavors, they have that as well.
They're Disney themed, just by the name. Like, I think that the one plain one is called like Main Street Roast. It's like Colombian coffee.
Yeah, if you guys got
And
questions.
And then there's also
on
like a morning blend that's Cars themed called like
Route 66.
Route 66.
They have one called Dark Side Roast, which
Yes.
is just, I'm assuming they're dark roast.
Yes.
And it says, come join the dark side. Whether your day involves ruling the galaxy or crushing a rebellion, Dark Side Roast will give you the power to complete your mission. You'll never have something else, because I didn't feel you click on the full thing. But that's really cool, and it really makes me want to buy some coffee.
If you guys
Is
have
there
questions
coffees
about
there?
like other flavors too, me and Meg have
I've
tried
tried
quite
a
a few,
lot.
so hit us up.
We've
We'll
tried
see if
a
they're
lot
good
of
or
the
not.
Disney ones.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'll have to check more out, because I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
And
good.
it lasts a while.
Do you know
As
where
well.
they get their beans from?
I'm not positive.
Coffee.
Coffee
Thank you.
beans from a tree.
I like
So,
coffee.
Do we want
I
to
like
do we
tea.
want to give these away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're each gonna give away our house flavor.
Okay.
So Tiffany's first.
And if you haven't heard these, we'll post the link to Expedition Roasters and the winners for this week's episode.
Yes.
All right. My Gryffindor housemate, who is getting
Chocolate cherry.
chocolate cherry, Sue Jody.
Congrats.
You're supposed to roar like a lion.
Do it. So my Slytherin sister, Sarah Maddie, is winning Caramel Crunch
Woo!
Slytherin coffee.
Enjoy your caramel snakes.
Caramel.
What's an H word?
Hufflepuff.
Hungry Hufflepuff.
Yeah. My fellow hungry Hufflepuff. Tony Pratt, you're getting some butterscotch
Yep.
coffee. Couldn't remember what it was. Scotch.
I don't know. The Ravenclaw clawsome girl that's gonna get.
Oh,
Well, I shouldn't call you a
jeez.
girl. You're a lady. Carly Vance is winning the blueberry
Cobbler.
Cobbler.
And that's what we're eating.
That's
We're
what we're
not
drinking.
eating
That.
it.
We're not drinking yours. You get a fresh bag.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless you want.
Each of our hands has been dipped into the coffee that you're winning.
Congratulations. We're gross.
So I'll reach out to the 4 of you and we'll get those shipped out this week. I promise.
Yeah.
Hold me to it.
Oh, we'll do it.
We'll do
Yeah,
it.
you'll do
We've
Hold me
actually
to it. We will do it.
we've actually been on top of shipping out stuff. So
Way to go, you guys.
Fun fact: this coffee is gluten-free and allergen-free.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Tiffany, I've missed this.
Hello.
Hello.
I had to do it last
Hello.
time.
Yeah, I know.
It's
It's time for the rubber recap.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Do you ever get annoyed by doing that?
It's
It's
a part of me now.
now.
Oh,
yes!
Upstairs. Come on.
All right, so last time Meg and I'm Katie, if you didn't know, finished up our Halloween special talking about the history of MACUSA, Rappaport's Law, which is,
Oi.
cannot talk to Mo-Madges.
More match, more problems.
Oh, this is why people hate us.
Episode title.
That's also why they love us.
And the difference
Love,
between
yeah, honey.
European Wizarding World and the American Wizarding World. So yeah.
Also, the A in MACUSA doesn't stand for anything, in case anybody was wondering.
Yeah.
Because that really held me up on that episode.
Yeah, no, I heard you.
I didn't listen.
I was like, I know what it stands for. Magical.
Long pause.
What does the A
Magical
stand
long
for?
Yep.
Yep.
So I'm gonna give you the summary that I didn't write. Essentially, we're gonna talk about how the movie and the book are different because there's some stuff in the movie and some stuff in the book that aren't in each other.
What? Good
Sarah
job.
I
is
did
a
write-
robot.
I did make a doc, and I was like, this is like 2 months ago, or maybe even 3, and I was like, talk about how the movie and the book are different in something else, and like like there was one sentence where like they're different. Okay, thanks, bye.
I like that.
I like that. I want to preface this episode by saying I love this book, obviously, and I love this movie, but when I watch the movie, I don't think about the book. I keep them separate. But today, nope. I'm being critical.
Today we're calling them out.
being critical.
True.
I just don't want anyone to think I don't like this movie, because I really do. But if I'm going to break it down,
I can never compare the movies.
nope. It's
And the
two
books.
total different,
Yeah.
Are they?
Oh.
yes. One's a film.
Okay.
One's on
Tiffany,
TV.
now you're doing it.
I'm gonna say paper.
Okay.
Are we gonna talk about all of this article, or am I just gonna skip to this old?
I figured that we would do like the big parts that I pointed out in the doc, and then we could circle back and like just kind of skim the article and talk about what we like the
Okay.
secondary
All right.
important things.
Do you want to know why? Like, oh, I lost my train of thought.
Do you want to know?
Oh, when you're like, something about like don't like. Oh gosh.
Do you even do a podcast?
Can I even speak words?
No.
Not most of the time, but you know, it's like a therapy session for you. Do you know what you were gonna say?
No.
All right. Let's dive
Something
on
about
in.
a square because you're not around.
Oh, bringing it full circle?
Oh my god.
No, but like, oh, like don't be square or something like that because you're not around. Like when you're going
Oh, right,
somewhere.
right.
What's that saying?
I don't know.
Oh, wait. It's right there. Be there, be square.
Yeah, because be there, be square because you're not around.
It took us this long to get there.
Someone in the beginning of us was screaming it. Be there, be square.
Well, you people are listening. Sorry, that was really mean to call you people. Tiffany's speechless. I'm sorry, you guys have to edit this because I'm not.
That's amazing. I don't have to edit any of it, or do you want it to be really terrible?
We have company tonight, but it's fine. We'll edit it.
Okay,
Let's do this.
so did you guys, when you first saw this, because sometimes, like Katie and I,
we take in whatever our author gives us. We take in whatever our directors or whatever give us in the movie, right? Our actors. Right.
Yeah.
When you first saw this, were
I was
you
mad.
like, ah!
No.
When it comes to Lumos Maxima, Under the Blankets.
Hold on. Before we really even start this, when you first saw this movie, how did you feel?
I loved it.
I hated it.
Oh, well, okay.
I was, I mostly liked it, but there were glaring things that annoyed me.
Yes. Yes.
I think the only thing that really bugged me was the grounds.
Yes.
That was
hated it. I didn't-
really?
Really? I love
No,
that.
no.
But it was so different
Too
from
hilly.
the first
You
two
didn't. It's not what you thought. I
movies.
thought.
So, like,
it was so different.
in my head, and I think part of it is because there was a new Dumbledore, which,
That didn't
granted, in a
help.
perfect world, he would have been the same one, rest his
Right.
soul.
R.I.P.
But, pour one out. It makes it sound so insensitive, but
We're not.
legitimately,
That's like legitimate.
But like when I saw it, when I was when did it come out? When I was 13 years old. So like I'm so used to those two movies in my head, and I'd read the books. So like pre the movies even coming out, because when the first movie came out, all 4 books were out, right? The first 4.
The first 4, yeah.
So I'd read all 4 of those books. So I knew going in. So I had, but when I like probably reread the third one before it came out, had those visions of the first 2 movies in my head. So I was like super disappointed with everything changed. There was a new Dumbledore. The grounds looked different.
You
I was
don't like change.
what
do
is
you?
this?
Yeah.
But I will say now it's one of my favorites.
So I have
True.
to say,
True for me.
now that, so Katie and I went to Annick Castle, which is where they filmed like the flying lesson. They filmed at the castle grounds in the first 2 films.
Are you bragging?
I'm bragging. No, but like Annick Castle is in England, not Scotland. So like England is not as hilly as Scotland. So they totally just like changed the location of Hogwarts from the second to third movie. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like the third movie, they filmed in Glencoe. That's the Highlands. That's like
Big gigantic green hills.
massive green hills, which
Yeah.
is just completely different from Annick Castle.
Yeah.
So it's like it's cool, but at the same time it's like, why would you so drastically change it like that?
Right.
But at least they kept it from the third movie on. You know, like they didn't change it again.
Yeah.
Well, like
Which would
not
have bothered me.
the fact that the ground, it was just like
It was.
it wouldn't have mattered if like the distance from like what it seemed like from the castle to Hagrid's hut. It seemed like just a stone's throw in the first 2 ones.
Yeah.
And then it felt like I had to take an 80-minute walk to
Yeah.
like down the hill. Like that's
Yeah.
the hill didn't bother me. It was
Hill
just that
bothered me.
like everything just, and again it was a different director. Everything was different. So
Yeah. I mean,
a lot of things changed, which I mean it's fine. I genuinely, it's one of my favorite movies now. Probably my favorite one out of all of them actually.
I guess like most readers, when you get your own picture right in your head,
Yeah.
it was just so different from what my Hogwarts was. You know what I mean? And I feel like the first 2 movies helped my vision of Hogwarts, and this one completely like flipped it, and I was like, what? And that's why I think like, I mean, but that's with any reader, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I think that they just wanted like you know, like as the movies go on, Hogwarts itself grows. Like through all 8 movies,
Yeah.
it gets bigger. They add sections. They changed what things looked like. Like
Mm-hmm.
throughout the entire thing. But I think that they were just trying to expand it. So like the first 2 movies, it just like seemed so concentrated in like
Mhm.
those little areas with, yeah, you know, the forest was right there. Hogwarts, Hagrid's hut was right there. But they just wanted you to understand like the broadness of like where Hogwarts was.
Yeah.
So like I understood why they did it, and I ended up really liking it a lot. It was shocking at first seeing it, but
Yeah.
like it grew on me really quickly. That's how it was for me at least.
Okay.
Like I saw it, I loved the feel of the third movie. Like how he made everything darker.
Mm-hmm.
They changed
Well,
the colors of the
yeah.
uniforms.
I mean,
they,
it should have been,
Right.
though, you know?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's really when you
The
start.
WB. The WB
Yes, everything. Well, everything
symbol.
started getting darker. The book started getting a little bit darker.
Yeah.
You know.
And I love that they kept that WB theme going all the way
Yes.
through the last
Yeah.
So
one.
good.
It just got darker and darker.
And I love
and
What is Fantastic
rusty
Beasts
and
ones look
darker.
I don't know. I don't
It's
remember.
like gold. It's like shiny silver, I think.
I wonder if it'll change. We gotta keep our eye on it.
Is it gold? I think Crimes is silver though.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, you have the internet highway right there. So.
I like Tumblr. They would a lot of times you'd see like if you follow Potter people or Potter related thing like pages on Tumblr, they would a lot of times you'd always see like they'd have them all in order, the WB signs, and they
Yes.
see it. It's like, oh my gosh,
Yes.
you almost forget until you see them all together. You're like, yeah.
Can we post that? Can we post that?
Yeah, we'll
The
find
Warner
it.
Brothers thing?
Yeah, with all
Yeah.
of them. Yeah, that'll be pretty.
I know that's gotta be somewhere.
Yeah.
And like another thing too, I know at least with me, because I'm not always like the best reader, where like sometimes I'll skip details. So like when I'm reading things, regardless of what I'm actually reading, I'm gonna have my own thing in my head. So
Yeah.
like that's another thing going into the movie that we all probably thought it looked different
Right.
from what each other thought. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So.
Because it's your own.
Yeah. And like I said, it ended up being one of I think my favorite movie. They also look, because I was like 13 at the time, so I was like, oh, Ron and Harry just look so cute. Yes.
I loved me some Rupert Grint.
Oh
in this
my
movie.
god. Rupert Grint.
You know, I don't ever remember being like, oh my gosh, they're so cute.
Oh,
I remember
God,
being like,
I
I want to be
love-
Hermione.
No, Rupert for sure.
The fourth,
Mm.
yeah. The third movie is when my crush started
It's an angry
really
baby.
well. It started before this, but it just like was solidified. in the
He
third
like
one.
all of a sudden I was like, yeah. And like
Yep.
it sounds weird saying it now, because like when you watch the movie they're still 13, but like when
I'm
it
like,
came out,
that's a
I like we're the
child.
same age.
Yeah.
So like I still think he's a good looking guy, you know?
Yeah.
I love me a ginge guy.
Half-Blood Prince Ron.
I just don't. My biggest gripe.
Where are we?
My biggest gripe with the fourth one is I just want to cut everybody's hair.
We're not there yet. Don't talk about 4.
I
Back
just-
to 3. Katie, your thoughts on the grounds?
On the grounds?
Yeah.
They're wet.
Everybody else gave their
They
opinion.
always do look.
They do.
wet.
They always look wet.
I think they're beautiful, but now that you pointed out in my head, that's not how I pictured it.
How did you
Yeah.
did you picture it more like 1 and 2 or something different?
Like 1 and 2, but much wider, bigger.
Flatter? a
Like
little
flatter,
bit?
yeah, but like it was a
Yeah.
great distance to where you got to
Which
the lake over here. and the
Doesn't make
forest.
sense.
No, it doesn't, but that's how it is in my head, and I never thought about it until you started saying
Because if Hogwarts
anything
really
wrong.
is in Scotland,
Yeah,
it's not
it's
flat.
not
And
Right.
you know what's so interesting though? Until reading,
But did she write about the hills? You know what I mean?
I think maybe when they're on the train she did. I don't know.
well, like when reading this one, being prisoner. I don't know why I said it like that. At the beginning, I like completely forgot. Well, maybe because this is the first time Harry's on his way. Because the first year he took the boat, and then the second year he took the car. So this is the first time you really get to see them take the carriages up, and you realize how, because it takes them a minute. Like they don't just get there really quickly. They're on that carriage ride for a long time. And that just gives you like how big the grounds really are, and it's something that I think when you're reading, it's hard to visualize that. And so I think this book or this movie, I mean, did a good job. In retrospect, of me now liking it, did a good job at highlighting how large the grounds are, which is also a good thing because you don't really, if the Forbidden Forest is forbidden, except for first years doing detentions, they really shouldn't be super. It shouldn't be super close to the school. Lest the werewolves get out or something.
True.
Or other creepy crawlers like those giant spiders.
Oh.
Ron probably still has nightmares about
Oh, I would.
Cross your fingers that he does.
them. So mean.
I know, right?
Hermione's there to cuddle him at night.
That's true. Okay, get into my piece.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so this is a big one because I feel like a lot of people always like point this one out. It's if you go to the article. Did we say what article we're using?
The Leaky Cauldron. I'll post the link to it'll be the first link that posts so that people see it.
Okay. If you scroll down a bit, it's headed with at the Dursley, so it's going with Harry studying, and it says when the book starts, Harry is writing a paper on witch burning, yet when the movie starts, Harry is practicing magic. Lumos under the covers. Big no.
Because the previous year he got a letter saying you
Right.
can't do hovering charms.
So even if you're a non-book reader and you're watching the movies just for the experience of the movies, right?
Yeah.
are you going to be wildly confused by this? Because us book readers are also like, what are you doing? And Joe, where were you?
It surprised me that she let that happen.
That's a big no-no.
Yeah.
Especially since
Maybe
the
she'd be
previous
like,
year.
well, he's not doing it in front of any muggles, so it doesn't matter.
No.
Hold
I'm-
on.
Would agree, but I'm just saying.
So he says he does the Lumos Max stuff, blah blah
Correct.
blah.
Yeah.
Then Aunt Marge comes to stay. Then everything literally blows up. Then
Literally.
so he
Hashtag
grabs his
literally.
trunk, and Uncle Vernon's like, "You put her back, you put her right," and he points his wand at him, doesn't he? And he's like, "You can't use magic." Doesn't he say you can't use magic outside
Yeah.
school?
Yeah.
You just did at night, what,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a week ago.
It's all very confusing.
Yeah.
It was purely for that very beginning
Yeah.
with
Yep.
the WB logo and
Well,
the
yeah.
white. I mean, that it was it.
And I appreciate the way it looks.
Yeah.
That seemed to me that is a very Alfonso Cuarón thing to do. He's just very into visuals.
Well, he needs to be very into the canon.
I don't disagree.
Hold on, let me take a sip.
Well,
I don't disagree, but I think that I'm guessing that that is how they approached it to Joe, is that it was purely a visual thing for the WB logo, and it was a really cool beginning to the movie, and she probably just kind of got wrapped up in it, like, oh, that does look cool, and that's why it was approved.
Like I said, I appreciate it, but
Alfonso was probably like, well, in the last movie, Chris Columbus did the same thing because Hermione fixed Harry glasses.
Oh, that's true, but
Diagon Alley.
yeah.
But at least she was surrounded by magic.
so I shouldn't ask this because it has nothing to do with what we're talking about. I'm gonna write it down though, but come on. It has to do with Harry Potter, just not.
Just makes me think of, I'm sorry, Adam Sandler when he's like, proceed. Alright. What else do we want to say about that? Just a no-no.
Big no.
Big no.
I will say, I do like, I can hear it in my head when he's like trying to do this stuff. He's like, Lumos
Yeah.
Maxima. Lumos Maxima!
He has a very distinct voice. I love him.
Yeah.
We love you, Dan. And if you would like to hear about which things, check out
Yeah.
I was gonna
the
say,
previous episodes.
how cool is that like it just coincided so well.
It did.
Yeah, writing.
I had a lot of fun doing that.
That was a really good time.
It
was
was,
fun.
well, the whole recording it wasn't as great.
Right.
Hashtag cursed episode.
But yeah, finally getting down and talking about it, I love stuff
The
like
little
that.
MacBook Air pulled through. We're doing okay for now.
Don't talk too much about it, you're gonna jinx yourself.
I jinxed myself. Alrighty, Rue. Shall we continue?
About flying in the sky.
We're at the big ones right now, right? And then we're down.
Yeah.
The ones? Okay.
Let's talk about the bolt of fire.
Oh, I got
So,
really
the fireball.
confused. I thought you said the Baggins. I was like, that's not the same
Is
thing.
this
Guys.
an unexpected podcast?
What's that?
It's the hot run, okay? Come on.
Unexpectedly, alright.
Let's get up with the firebolt.
So, as we know, because we just finished covering Prisoner of Azkaban, how Harry got his broom was in the mail, and that it was for Christmas. And then Hermione freaks out about it, talks to Professor McGonagall, she takes it away so that they can test it to make sure everything's okay because they think it's from Sirius. It is, actually, but it's not cursed.
I still, well, go on.
But then he finally gets it back in the end. However, in the movie, the firebolt doesn't exist for like basically the entire movie until the very last scene. He walks into the Great Hall, and Ron is stammering, saying like, oh, I didn't mean to open it. It just happened.
It was badly wrapped.
It was badly wrapped.
Oh my
And
gosh.
then he walks in, and it's open on the table, and it's a firebolt, and it comes with a feather, which is Buckbeak. So we know that it's serious, and then that stupid ending scene with Harry's smeared face across the screen.
Listen,
I hate it.
you were just talking about Mr. Alfonso's.
I mean, I know that is. I'm sure that it was another visual thing
What
that
if
he
he's
wanted
like-
to do.
No, the drawing table, right? Hear me out, guys.
Smear face.
What if I smear his face across this theater screen?
No.
Anybody? Bueller?
I have to say that I love at the end of the book when they find out it was him, and Hermione's like, well, I was right, wasn't I?
I know.
And Ron's
So
like,
tiny.
still.
Ron's like, yeah, but nothing was wrong with it. Can I snowball on that?
We don't have that mic down here.
If you want to know, I was just gonna
It's not
ask.
cold enough for that yet either.
Hey,
I
there
was
was snow
gonna-
today. There was snow today.
I was gonna ask if people hated the change, didn't care about the change.
It bothered
It was
me.
stupid.
But you think this change was stupid?
Like to just have it at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're all in agreement. It's like the more of the book in the movie you can get, the better.
Yeah. That's how every one of these episodes is gonna be.
Yeah. But I like the idea of him getting something for Christmas that, like, he almost every year gets something like, I didn't expect this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
Hermione's to go and, like, ruin it.
What
Sorry.
I super didn't like about this change is that not only did this affect like the storyline of him getting the broom, but it also interfered with like Quidditch in general.
Mm-hmm.
Quidditch.
So like the Quidditch World Cup didn't happen, or the Quidditch House Cup.
I was
Sorry.
gonna be like, wait, what? I thought it really hit.
It does in a couple months.
Hold on.
A couple months, I know. Sorry. But like Harry and Oliver didn't get their Quidditch World Cup.
So here's my question about Quidditch.
God, whatever. Quidditch House Cup.
House
Quidditch
Cup.
House Cup.
So if you don't know, now you do, that J.K. Rowling didn't like writing Quidditch, so she
Yes,
kind of
she hated
stopped
it.
writing it.
I don't think they liked filming it.
I was
either.
gonna ask that question. Okay.
Have you ever seen the behind the scenes? The green screen and stuff?
Mhm.
It's pretty
It
wild.
a long
Um,
time. It's been a long time.
Dan has talked about how much he hated it.
I think there's a lot of aspects of filming these movies that
I
he
think
didn't care
that
for.
all those
I
action
think that it
scenes is
hurts
hard.
men.
I mean, you're super.
Why are you looking at me like this? You're like, I think it hurts.
She's
bad.
judging whether she should have continued the sentence.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Continue the joke.
is it a joke?
Oh
No.
gosh. It's Boondock Saints, man.
Never seen it.
Oh, I didn't get that reference.
I mean, I think I've seen it once a long time ago.
Alright.
But I'm trying to think of like, I also like seeing like words, like McGonagall. She wants to win that cup
Yeah.
so bad,
Yeah.
Her struggle
and
to
then like
take that broom away.
I wish you
Oh.
could see more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But think about how much she cares about Harry to have done
Well,
that.
and
I know.
honestly, like I would have loved to seen that game, like
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
honestly, like the
That introduced
Slytherin.
Cedric.
Well, yeah, that
Didn't
too.
it?
Oh,
Oh wait, no.
Well, all
Cedric-
of them will.
Oh well, another
chose
change. Another change is that in the first Quidditch game, that's supposed to be Cedric that he's playing against and loses against, but it's just a random Hufflepuff. Because they didn't cast Cedric at that point.
Mm.
He gets shocked by lightning and he goes,
Ooh, yeah, and then falls back. Yeah.
Oh wait,
So-
well, that's not part of what we're talking about.
Oh,
Like, you don't get to see Malfoy dressed up as a Dementor.
Nope.
I would have loved to seen that.
that would have been
Someone
great.
recently was like, I wish they had had more of him in all of the movies.
Yeah.
And I totally agree.
I mean, you get a lot in 6th,
Yeah.
but he was such a huge part
Of the book.
of Harry's
honestly,
experience.
and him and Neville, like
And
I
it
want
builds.
that
It
Neville.
builds
Yes.
to that final time.
like I
which
wish
makes
you'd seen
sense.
more of them, both. You know,
Yeah.
both Neville and Draco. Like you don't realize how much they're in these books
I need a little
until
more Malfoy.
oh yeah,
I need a little more.
shave a little more
I
on
need
top.
a little Malfoy redemption post war. Kershaw doesn't.
Cursed Child.
That doesn't.
Tiffany,
It needs more.
It's so good.
I mean, I'm not saying that doesn't count. I'm saying I want something else.
like Draco is better than Harry in that.
Like, give me.
Well, you know
All-
how I feel
all
about,
Harry
and I didn't
Potter
even
books.
finish reading it. How I feel about Harry and Cursed Child.
It comes across better.
I
acted
don't know
out.
how saying that comes across any other which way than horrible.
We cannot.
Well,
We cannot do Kershaw.
that's
I'm
another-
just saying, give me
another
all the
episode.
Harry Potter books, but instead it's Draco Malfoy and
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
What those titles
And my
mean.
father will hear about
That would be the prisoner for sure.
Oh my god, guys! I just
My
read
dad's
the
boss
part.
that came back.
Draco
I
Malfoy
just
and the
read
Bloody
the part.
Chicken.
Oh my god!
Sorry.
I just read the part where Moody turns him into a ferret. And God, it's just so good. It's just so good.
I have a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
really
questions
like
on
that
that
one.
Moody.
I don't think he's real.
I think that
think it's
he's
kinda
a
moody.
faker. That's what I
Moody.
think.
Moody foodie. I'm a moody
He's
foodie.
a phony.
A big fat phony.
He's a
phony. Hey, that guy's a phony. He's a big fat phony.
Oh, what are we starting with?
That's Family Guy.
What do you want to snowball on?
You said it.
The Quidditch World Cup.
No, the
Quidditch House Cup.
Get out.
I haven't seen that
I'm
yet.
reading Goblet of Fire right now. That's my excuse. I'm sorry.
All right.
The
Is that on the,
Marauders.
All right, Katie. I see you got the part you wanted.
I didn't assign that to myself.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
you-
your wife did.
Okay, so they don't exist. The end. Yeah,
So
I
clap
think
them out.
this is my biggest disappointment with this movie. Let's
Yup.
see what this article says though. So, the backstory of the map and how it came to be was never mentioned. So there's one part in the Shrieking Shack where all they have to say is, "We were friends in school." At least, nope, never.
We
Never.
are Mooney, Wormtail, Padfoot, and Prongs.
We are the Marauders.
But instead, they had to put in 85 Whomping Willow scenes, shaking leaves off and snow. But whatever.
Thank you, Alfonso.
I really like
And your
I like
damn
them too.
visuals.
But
Let me smear some more faces.
I feel like it helps you remember that it's a sentient being.
the time is moving.
Well, and time is moving, whatever. Time is irrelevant.
I literally hate those scenes.
Also,
I want to punch a wall whenever I see them.
they misspelled.
Well, don't punch the tree because it'll punch you back.
The punching pine. What was I gonna say? I lost it.
I'm sorry.
The Marauders, the map, the scene,
On the map,
with
on the
the
map.
trees.
If there's a place you want to go, I can get you there. I know.
Oh.
I'm the map.
Thank you. You got me back to my thought.
You're welcome.
They misspelled Mooney, which I think was supposed to be a call out to like want someone working on the film whose name was Monney. No, don't mess with that. Don't mess with it. Just leave it how it's supposed to
They
be.
fixed it in later movies.
Yeah, but I don't care. That was its debut. Purveyors of magical mischief. That's it.
It really does
How?
annoy me. It does. And like it's so prominent on the screen at
Yes.
that one point, and I'm just like, oh, they misspelled it. But then they fix it.
You know what else I don't like?
I didn't even notice it, if I'm quite honest.
I didn't notice it either. I don't like how Snape finds out. I mean, I like it in the film, but I like it better in the book, where he finds the bit of parchment and it makes fun of him. You know, he's just wandering.
my
Like, why is
God,
Harry
yes.
just wandering the halls?
Why
Yes.
wouldn't you do that? That's a quality comedic scene.
It's one of my
They
favorite
do
scenes.
it. In the movie, it's just a little bit different.
It's
He's
shorter.
wandering the hall because
Yeah.
isn't he looking for Peter Pettigrew?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
sees him walking.
Yes.
And so whatever. Let's pull that light out.
Oh, so, as we know, 3 of the Marauders were animagi.
Animagi.
I was gonna be like, no, they all are, and it's like, no, one's a werewolf.
And that's not mentioned. That's not mentioned that they're unregistered animagi.
That's a really big thing. I think they could have.
Because
mean,
that's
you
why
didn't even-
Sirius
wow.
could escape.
But you didn't even need to like elaborate on that anymore either. Even if you just mentioned it, people
Yeah.
could like put the pieces together.
Right.
Right.
Well, like, you don't even see Does
Nope.
Rita at all?
we
No,
never learn
That
about
whole
that.
thing.
Movie watchers don't know about her doing that.
Ugh. That's another bit of, so reading Hot Cup of Fire, I'm over her, and I'm just at the beginning of the
Nasty.
movie, the book.
Oh, I'm
Over
about
her,
to.
She's
And honestly,
everything
I-
that's wrong with media.
Oh, she's literally the worst.
I hope she's really J.K. Rowling
Okay.
Oh, I know that theory.
though.
So yeah, the unregistered animagus, and then how Sirius escaped from Azkaban is not mentioned. It's just like, oh well, he did it. Nobody's ever done it before. I don't know how he did it.
Katie.
Goodness,
Who
she's angry.
She
who
is.
sees Peter Pettigrew? So in the book, Remus sees Pettigrew on the map,
Mm.
but in the movie, Harry sees him and like ventures out, and then that leads into that also incorrect scene.
They were
Also
talking
in
to,
the
uh,
insults.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and in the insults, we don't get to hear. We only hear Moonies, which I mean that's the one that matters. But we don't get to hear all of them, and they're hilarious.
Yeah.
They are hilarious.
What is
Yeah.
it? His
Abnormally
abnormally large nose out of
other people's business.
I actually really like. That's the only instance I like Peter because he calls him a slime ball, and it makes me laugh.
True.
He should wash his hair.
The dirty slime.
Sorry
Yeah.
to you Snape lovers.
Yeah.
It's just. It's
It is.
Oh my
It's
gosh,
a funny
guys, I
joke.
just read the scene where he tells Hermione that he doesn't see a difference in her teeth, and I just want to reach through the pages of my book and yank his hair out.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
is not very
mean.
nice.
I was thinking though, you know,
He's so mean to her.
Well,
Why
you know what,
gotta
J.K.
be
Rowling,
so mean?
how
Yeah.
she set, I feel like, and I think people agree, that she set us up to dislike
Oh yeah.
Slytherins and to think Hufflepuffs are like,
Duffers.
yes. So I was
She
reading
made us
another
feel this way.
description, because, you know, at the beginning of all our books, she kind of describes what's been happening. And
Yeah.
talks about Snape and how he's the professor, whatever, yada, yada. And how he's, like, greasy, haired, whatever. And I was like, you describe him as someone, like, we're meant to hate.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Well,
but
we're
you're
supposed to feel how Harry feels.
Yeah, well, Harry, go home. No, I'm just kidding.
Harry.
It's just interesting. They're gonna be 40 this year, I think. Next year. No, 20.
What?
40 this year, yes.
They're
No. 20.
What?
He's 38.
2020?
He's 38 years old.
Ew, that's weird to say.
What?
2020.
2020.
We're gonna all have 20/20 vision.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Oh my
The
god.
clock hits midnight. I don't need my glasses anymore.
Remember the time I thought I had like a miracle happen? When I went to class, I had my glasses on and I took them off. And I was waiting for it to start and I go like this. I rub my eyes and then I'm like, oh my god, I can see the board. And I was like, oh. For a moment, literally thought it was a miracle that I woke up and I could see, and then I touched my eyeball and realized I slept with my contacts.
Oh.
I literally, there was a brief moment. I was like, oh, I'm like, I can suddenly see. Sorry, we'll edit that.
Who will? You? Not. Alright. 'Tis all?
Yeah, for right now.
Sarah, it's your turn.
Well, right, I'm gonna talk about Diagon Alley.
I just read your note in the doc. It's so stupid.
What doc? I can't say words. So in the movie, he doesn't venture out into Diagon Alley at all. Where like he has 3 weeks in the book, where he like goes and he has ice cream every day and he sees the fireball.
He like only has one night in the movie, I think.
That's
Yeah.
what it seems like.
Yeah.
Like maybe 1 or 2 nights.
But,
Two
like,
nights.
Maybe 2 nights.
I would have loved to see him walk around,
Yeah.
do his
Yeah.
homework, get some ice creams.
Just be
I
totally
would've-
free.
Think about how amazing that ice cream would have looked, because they could have made it look
Oh, I'm sure.
crazy ridiculous.
Yeah.
Um,
It makes me want to go to Florida so bad.
Yeah. They don't make the ice cream look like how I think it would look in my head.
I saw Steph no longer run us picture.
I know.
And
And
it
Megan
made me
Valdez and
super
Kelly Lamb are
jealous.
there too right now.
Are they?
They're all planning on
They
meeting
met
up.
up.
Yeah.
Did
They're
they?
What?
gonna meet up.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
I'm gonna throw up again.
you also see the difference between Harry finding out about Sirius being after him, because in the book he overhears Mr. and Mrs. Weasley talk about it,
Yeah.
and then in the movie, Mr. Weasley like takes him aside to talk to him about it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
once they're all at
In the
dinner.
book, he's like going to get the rat tonic for
Mhm.
Ron.
And like you see in the book, like how against it is, like Mrs. Weasley is. Molly's like, nah, like
Don't
Yeah.
tell him.
she's in the mindset more so like he's a kid and he should be allowed to stay a kid, which like is a good thing, and that's like a mother saying that, you know,
Right.
where everyone else is like, yeah, as much as he is a kid, he deserves to hear this because it is about him and
Yeah.
his family. And really, I mean, by the end of this, we all know like he's the key piece to saving the Wizarding World. Yeah. I love that too, and then she hits him. Yeah,
How
sorry.
But
cool
I am.
would it have been to see all those little rats dancing
Oh, right.
in
At
the magical menagerie?
Yeah.
You want me another cup?
I wish we
Yeah.
could have seen the magical menagerie.
And we
in
don't see her
general.
get Crookshanks. We
Yeah.
just see her, like, she's
She's
just
just there with
yeah.
them.
She's just like, oh, hey, here's this smush face cat.
And she talks about your smelly old shoe brush, like, as the rat,
Oh.
and they're fighting.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes,
What
Ron.
an insult to just say a shoe brush.
Yeah, but it's alright.
Who brushes their shoes?
Rats are
people do.
amazing
Who?
pets.
I don't know.
Comment on this if you brush your shoes.
I've never
People do
heard
if
of
they have.
that.
Really? I can see, know what it looks
I've done it with a golf shoe,
Well,
but it's not really like a brush. It's more like a little pick.
all I can think about is horses.
Okay, well that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah, but like, I'm sure people that like work outside or get muddy shoes, brush. How are you gonna? You just gonna leave your shoes outside in the
I
rain?
let the mud dry and then I clap them together the next day, and the mud goes.
I'm so happy for you. And some other things. So you don't see how she gets the cat. Well, the rat tonic. Trying to think of what else happened in that bit.
He doesn't get to like see the firebolt and then
Yeah.
like yearn for it.
Yeah,
You
you don't.
know?
So I don't think you even really. You don't even hear anything about the firebolt till the end, right?
No. Yeah.
Because in it you see like it's so much in the book at least.
You
It's
have
so
to
much
ask
money
for
you
a
have to,
price.
which you know
Yeah.
means it's expensive.
So he like sees the nimbus in the window. Like, why can't we like
Yeah.
do it up with the firebolt? Which is super, like a huge part of these movies. I mean, think about in 4 with the task, like,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
and
Well-
then in 5 writing it.
Like,
You know?
we know that one of his strongest suits is flying. Like, he's a
Correct.
great flyer.
Yeah.
That's why he's a good seeker.
Yes.
He's able to seek things quickly.
He's very fun.
It's a natural.
He's so fly.
Okay.
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 And then, like I said, he only really, it seems like he spends 2 days, and you only really see
The Leaky
the
Cauldron.
Leaky Cauldron. You don't even see Diagon Alley at all.
You
That's in
see it?
London.
Oh, you know what? We noticed this while we were watching it. Do you remember? He looks out the window
Oh
in
yeah.
his room and he looks down and it's Borough Market in London.
But is that the extended edition of the movie?
No.
No, you can just see it outside.
He looks out because a train goes by.
Oh, and also the book is completely different. The Monster Book of Monsters, because in the book
Yes.
he
It's
gets
green,
it.
right?
Well, it looks
green.
completely different in the
Green and
book,
scaly.
and he has it in his
Gold lettering.
in his house, like in his room. Like Hagrid sends it to him,
People
Yeah.
are probably dying for like, bring the bell.
and so you don't see like essentially what they did was they kind of took the scene where he gets the book, and they put it when he's in the
In the
Leaky
Leaky
Cauldron.
Right.
Um.
Because he gets it from Hagrid.
Mhm. Yeah.
For his birthday.
And I honestly would have loved to see like a million of those things, like in a cage, and the guy
I
that
know.
was in
Yes.
Yeah, and his clothes being
Yeah.
ripped and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would have been really cool.
Um,
Or just to see the book thing again, the bookstore. What is wrong with me?
I think something that I really like long for is seeing like that everyday
Mhm.
Yes.
living life.
Yeah.
Like, this is gonna be so cheesy of me, but I have to say it because it's me. But like when I was first starting to read them, you know, I was in like what 6th or 7th grade, and you know I am a kid who loved to pretend, and so
Yeah.
like when I would go to school, I would be like, okay, so science is like potions, and blah blah blah, and I would like kind of pretend in my head a little bit that I was like in the wizarding world, and I loved reading about that everyday wizarding life, going to classes, doing blah blah blah.
Mhm.
And just seeing Diagon Alley when he was there, just every day, summertime Diagon
Yeah.
Alley would have been so great.
Yeah.
And to see like, cause you know there would be other people mulling around, so
Yeah.
getting just to see other people just living their best life, walking around Diagon Alley, like buying things, talking to
Shopping
each
bags,
other.
all those different kinds
And
of witches and wizards from all
what
over.
What I think is really cool in the movie, they have the guy sitting there, and I think he's reading A Brief History of Time or whatever it's called by
Yes.
Stephen Hawking. So he's
Yes.
reading the book, but he's also stirring the
Stirring with
coffee
his
with his finger.
Yes.
Like that's just stuff like I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Um,
really, really cool.
So do more of those things. I mean,
Yeah, remake the movies and do it.
I did the same thing.
Pretend.
as you. Yeah, except we would do it at home. So shout out to my friend Katie, who
Not me.
not Katie Petrus, but Katie, who I went to grade school with and high school. She would come over and we would we would have all these books and we would take little slips of paper and say, okay, this book is our potions book, this book is our history of magic book, and like we would pretend school, but it would be Wizarding World pretend school
It's pretty
all the
epic.
time,
I think that's really cute.
all the time.
It's really, really cute.
So I love that.
I just pretended like you guys.
I know.
It's a nice thing for you to pretend.
All right. So the other thing that was different were the Hogsmeade scenes. So, in general, like you don't even see him. You don't see him go behind the witch in the movie, do you?
No.
And then you don't see him like Although, unless it's like an extended where he comes up. Is that
I think it's an no.
I
You
feel
see
like
it for a
is.
second. You see it for like a second.
Comes with the cellar.
But he only goes once in the movie, correct?
Yeah.
Where he
Yeah,
goes
there's two.
twice in the book. Sorry, I feel like I sound like I haven't read the book. I did. And then just like the first time around, he doesn't even have his invisibility cloak. I wanted to call it something else.
Right,
So he's
yeah,
just
he
like
just
really
shows up.
like, you know, whoa, he's a confident dude just walking around
Whoop,
without.
he's a confident dude.
No, like just I don't know if I have the courage to do that because I don't want to get in trouble.
Right.
Oh my God.
And like you're Harry Potter, like you didn't get your stuff signed.
I'm assuming he isn't even thinking about the fact that teachers would go.
Yeah, but other people with eyes are there that can
Well,
really
right.
watch Harry
No,
Potter.
right, but like how many kids are gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna tell on you.
Draco
know?
Malfoy.
Well,
Amen.
yeah, but
Anybody who's jelly.
Harry doesn't think that far ahead.
Yeah, you know, he's not always the best thinker.
Hey, I think he's a really good thinker. We learned that in this
I
book.
think that all four of us would remember to get the cloak first. You know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
In that
yeah.
part too with Hogsmeade, he finds out about Sirius totally different in the movie than he does
Yeah.
in the book.
Totally different.
Completely.
Like 100%. It's like a very hurried, quick story. Like all of a sudden, it's almost like Fudge and McGonagall went to the Three Broomsticks with the
To
intent to
Talk
speak
to
of this.
Rosmerta.
But
Mhm.
in the book, it's just like it kind of just
Yeah.
like happens. They're going there to get a drink. It just
Hermione
kinda just
has
rolls.
to move the
Christmas
Yeah.
tree.
Christmas tree
Yeah,
in front of
To hide
them.
him, yeah, while he's underneath the table.
I really enjoyed that.
Well, and like you said, like it's so like the conversation of the book is so in depth. Like you really, what I really like about them talking in the book is that you get to see Hagrid talk about it or
Yeah.
really hear him and how emotional he gets
Yeah.
and how
Really
he
emotional.
doesn't believe. Like he thinks that Sirius really was gonna do something, and he loves Harry so much that the thought of someone that was so close to not only Harry but his parents could have done something, and at this point in time we don't know that Sirius is innocent. So he's thinking that this guy betrayed his best friends, was gonna probably take the child and kill him. That's what Harry or Hagrid was thinking,
Yeah.
because he was like, he wanted, because Hagrid got there first, right?
Yeah.
And so Hagrid had Harry, and he was like, "Come on, give him to me. I'm his godfather." And then he was like, "No, I'm sure that he would have just tossed him over the lake or something." And so you get to really hear his emotion and see all that in that conversation, and like they're all getting fired up, and even McGonagall gets in on it, where
Yeah.
you usually think of her as the one that's very like,
Cool.
yes,
She
cool,
keeps her
calm,
rules.
collected,
Yeah.
yes. And I feel like she's not always the one to jump to conclusions about other people, but I mean, all signs are pointing to Sirius, so.
Yeah.
And then in the movie, it's all very, like, let's just sit around and talk about Sirius. Well, let's have a serious conversation.
Serious conversation.
But they like go into a private room.
Mhm.
You know, like it's
Yeah.
kind of
You get to
Like,
hear
hush,
Dan
hush.
breathe really loud.
Oh my gosh.
And I do like that the talking heads where they're like telling them like not, they're like no kids allowed or whatever. It's
Yeah.
like how
I
rude.
pointed that out last time. I was like, why would the Three Broomsticks have a no kids day when it's
On
a
the
Hogsmeade
Hogsmeade
weekend
Yeah.
visit?
Yeah,
That just doesn't
dumb.
make sense.
Yeah.
Well, and it looks different too than the next time. Well, maybe not the next time, but when they're there with Slughorn, like the inside to me looks different.
Yeah.
It's like
Not
bigger.
that it matters.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
mean,
bigger.
I feel
Yeah.
like it changes every
Yeah.
single time.
When they're having that conversation too, this is obviously not something that would be in a movie, but I loved like the connection when you hear like Hagrid ran into Sirius and Sirius gave him his motorbike,
Mhm.
and that's how Harry got to the
Mhm.
Dursleys.
Yeah.
That blew my mind when I read it
Yes.
the first time.
Yeah,
So,
those
like-
little pieces need to be.
Yes.
And he
in,
still
like,
has
put
it,
in.
right?
What?
He still has the motorbike.
Yeah, they use it.
Yeah,
in
it's in seven
Yes, yes,
when
yeah.
Arthur soups it up with
So
the
I
brick
like-
wall and stuff.
You know, he has a piece of him. Because he even was like, he gave me his motorbike. He goes, so I knew he was going to like go and do something drastic kind
Right,
of
he
thing.
loved
And then,
that thing.
so it
Yeah.
like makes, he goes, to Hagrid, it makes perfect sense that he would give him the motorbike and then go and kill all those people, because he's like, once I've killed these people, like
I'm not gonna do
either I would kill myself or I would go to prison, which either way, I don't need my motorbike, so
Yeah.
have, like, you take it. And so the other stuff, like how Draco sees him is different. I'm like completely forgetting what the book was.
In the book, he sees his head.
Well,
it
he only sees his head in the
slips.
movie.
No, he doesn't see his head. He
doesn't
doesn't see
see it
Harry
at
at all in the movie. He just
Oh,
gets
he slips it off after because
hit.
he's throwing him with this, throwing
he
snowballs
hits
at him.
snowballs,
Yeah.
and then Draco just runs. Whereas in the book,
In the book, he sees him.
he sees Harry's head and then like runs to go tell somebody. So Harry has to run too to get back in time.
He's like, why was your head in
Yeah.
in,
So that's how it
Bugs
leads
Bunny.
into that Snape conversation.
Yeah.
Right, and the map and all that.
Yeah.
So.
And I like though that both times like Lupin was like, "Bro, it's just like a Zonkos. Don't you worry about it."
Definitely said bro.
He did. I
He
heard
did.
him both times. He's like, "Nah, bro."
Sarah's a portrait at Hogwarts. She goes
I was the one
that
that told him to put his light out.
that lighthouse.
So I wish that you could have seen that more because like you get to after that, he even tells Harry like, "I put my neck out for you. Like I
Yeah.
know that I lied to you, not lied to you, but like lied to Sirius or Severus."
For you, yeah.
Yeah. So I wish you could see that more. I wish you could see more Lupin and Harry together.
Yes, those
Yeah,
are my
that'd be
favorites,
good.
obviously.
That would be good.
What else to say?
Alright, shall we
Wanna-
circle back?
Circle back around.
2 bumps in a square.
I'm trying to think of something off the top of my head.
Okay, so in the movie you only see Buckbeak, but in the books there's like a lot more
Yeah.
hippogriffs. I think it would have
Yeah,
been
there's like
cool.
a whole like what would you call
gaggle
them?
of
A
'em.
flock? A gaggle?
I think it would have been cool to like see the different colors and the patterns that like hippogriffs could have had.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Even just like if they were in a paddock,
I
like
need
in
more
the
beasts.
background.
Did you guys ever
They're not
notice?
now. Give me the beast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you ever notice that Buckbeak poops in the movie?
Yes.
I've
Yeah.
heard that, but I haven't seen it.
What?
Once you watch that scene and you stare at
Just
his little
stare at his
tuckets,
butt the whole time. The
you'll
whole
see
time.
it. Which is so great because that means they had to edit in and they were like, we're gonna do something funny and put it in to see if anyone
Did they
notices.
use real horses for that scene and then edit or no?
No, it was
It was
like
all CGI.
Buckbeak's head on a stick.
How do you act with that?
Wasn't Dobby just a ball on a stick?
Yeah, he's a tennis ball.
Tennis ball.
Ball on a stick, ball
Ball
on
on
a
a
stick,
stick.
it's a ball on a stick, ball on a stick. Or I say like, Dobby.
The other thing that I really missed was the Sirius and Crookshanks relationship.
Yes.
Mhm.
Like you don't see that they had a friendship at all. You
That he
don't.
helped it all.
You don't see his
Yeah,
that
little jaunty
Crookshanks-
tail held high.
Well, like you
that
don't.
Crookshanks actually
Mhm.
like
Is smart.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's not just a cat.
He's
a
very
super
in-
key piece in
yes.
this book for making
He's-
things happen.
He's
Right.
very intuitive, and you even reading. I was reading in Hot Cup of Fire, where like, they were faking their homework essentially, and it was like it's almost as like Crookshanks knew that we were making all of this up. I'm like, he probably did. Like
Yeah.
you guys aren't
Yeah.
like that able to hide that
Yeah.
words, but yeah.
Words.
What I do like the movie showing though was kind of Hermione like fluttering in at the very last second, like in certain scenes where they're like, "You weren't just there."
Yeah.
She was there the whole time.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that
did
was
like
pretty
that.
cool.
When did she come in? Did you see her coming?
I also like the scene where like Harry is like talking to Buckbeak or doing whatever, bowing and all that stuff, and you see Ron and Hermione like in the background and
Oh yeah.
It
Oh
was-
yeah.
Yeah.
That was good.
I like the inkling of romance. Though I don't like how like I wish that we could have seen Harry liking Cho in this
Yeah.
movie.
Did
To lead up to
Yeah.
completely forgot about
do
it.
you think Joe like told them like the outcome? Be like, okay, these guys are gonna eventually end up together. Let's just give it a little bit of a piece.
No, I don't think so.
No?
Oh, you mean the directors? Or you mean the peeps?
The director.
Ah.
Or was it just like a juvenile thing?
I would say thing.
Okay.
I will say that I did not realize until rereading, because I don't remember anything, that Cho Chang was older than Harry by a whole school year.
I'm
Yeah.
Cho Chang.
Did you know? So in our Facebook group, a couple people have like started posts. Like one was like about unpopular opinions, and then the other they started a poll about least favorite characters.
Oh, I did see
Cho
that.
was number 2.
Who was
Who's
number
number
one?
one?
Snape.
Umbridge? Oh.
Not even Umbridge did not get number 2.
Snape.
Or were they talking about
It
like
was
heroes?
somebody who,
No,
I'm
no, no.
sorry, it was somebody who was supposed to be portrayed as a hero. Number 1 was Snape, 2 was Cho Chang.
I just don't remember her all that much. She's a forgettable
She
character for
kind
me.
of annoyed me.
Well,
Like,
Well, she just sorting through some emotions.
It's fine.
A lot.
Just because you don't have the emotional range of a teaspoon.
She had the emotional range of a freaking tureen.
Okay,
Well, like my thing is like I'm neither here nor there with her. Like,
Yeah, I kind of just wasn't.
Yeah, she's a blah.
yeah,
A little
yeah,
bit.
which is fine. You need those types
Sorry.
of characters to fill in the story.
Right.
You know,
I mean, I just.
she's like the lettuce on a sandwich to me.
Yes, the iceberg lettuce.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Sometimes you want a little bit. Sometimes you're like, I could do
I
without
could do without it.
But like, I need a piece of ham. Like Harry, Ron, Hermione, they're all hams.
Here is my thing. I think when reading it, especially the first time, you're an idiot. But I
Taste the tomato, get it off.
I don't think I wanted my Harry to be with her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. I knew that it wasn't gonna last.
And I just didn't like it. I don't know. I think I secretly, not secretly, but in my heart of hearts, I wanted like Harry and Hermione.
Oh no, never.
Oh.
I never got that. I never got that when reading it.
I think I did that the first
I
time, and then
always
the second
wanted
time.
Harry and Jenny.
I thought you were gonna say Harry and Ron.
No, I was
You
hardcore
ship
Ron
that?
and Hermione.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was very
Well-
much. I always got that from when I read it. It was Ron and Hermione, Harry and Jenny. Like I.
There's a huge following of Hermione and Fred.
Yes.
Yes, because yes, he's nice to her in books.
For mine.
Give me some more of that. Swish and
I don't mind that. There's also somewhere that's like Fred, George,
Wow.
and Hermione.
Oh,
But
okay.
that's another story for another day.
Well, he brought the arm.
The whole dog's down here.
No, the tongue's not.
Oh, he still can't talk.
Fuzzy bear. Get it. All right. What else we got?
What else we got? Yes.
Okay.
Leading into the slap that never happened. She
Oh.
punched him in the movie. Although, have you guys ever heard the story? I think I talked about it on the one episode where like he was like, "Come on!" Like they were practicing, and
Oh yeah.
he thought
yeah,
like
yeah.
she legitimately. So he's like, I had to walk away. Like his hand, I think he had to get like ice on his face.
That's awesome.
And like I guess the slap just didn't work, and the punch looked better or something is why they did it. But
I'd like the punch.
I mean, yeah, either one is fine with me. You know,
Yeah, it's a good addition.
I feel like a punch is a little bit more like.
I feel like-
Punched her.
Yeah, like a slap is you have to slap's a slap. But
Just a
you
slap on the
punch?
face.
Come on, that's awesome.
Right hook.
In this article, the Hogwarts choir was an addition, which I didn't think about
I was
that.
I was gonna say I really liked the choir.
Oh.
Choir's good.
I was in choir for like a very large portion of my life. So that was like so cool to me whenever I was like, oh, I would be in the Hogwarts choir. Like, how cool is that? I loved it.
I never thought about that.
I loved it.
You have no imagination.
Well, I mean, I was in the choir just not as long as her. Although we stopped the same year at Max, right?
Yeah, but I was doing
She
the
was in the
Singing
other
Angels
choir.
in Cleveland.
Except it wasn't it called the Singing Angles on something?
That's
Oh.
funny.
I don't know.
I remember you were doing something.
Spelling
called
here.
the Singing Angles. A lot of times when my dad calls the house, it's the government that's calling and not the government. The government.
I need to point out, and I know everyone will agree, that again the ages of some of the actors are incorrect to the characters.
Yes.
Like Remus and Sirius.
Mm.
I do want to say, so when I first saw Prisoner, like the first time ever, I don't think Remus was exactly what I wanted him to be, because he's been my favorite ever since I read this book.
He
the
grew
first time.
on you.
Yeah, he did, but then someone on our Facebook group, and I'm really sorry, I can't remember who it was, pointed out, they like caught my attention because they're like, I don't like David Thewlis as Remus Lupin, and I was like, why? You know? And I started reading it, and she pointed out all these things that, and now I'm not sure if I like him as Remus
Oh my
Lupin.
What was she pointing out?
Yeah, give me one
He
at least.
plays him very sternly.
Very stern. And I'm not
I
gonna
don't like
blame
that.
him. I'm gonna blame whoever
The
wrote the script
screenplay.
and all that.
There's
But,
a lot of things to say about those screenplays. Ron is funnier in the book.
Yes, thank you.
And smart.
And smarter. He's not some
Really
dumb
is.
friend.
Like, really quick little blurb about the screenplays. I can't remember, because so there were two screenplay writer Harry Potter. Steve Cloves, he,
Something with clove.
he was a huge Harry Hermione shipper. And that comes across so many times in the screenplays that he wrote. I don't think that he wrote all of them. He just wrote some. But, like, the whole Harry Hermione scene in Deathly Hallows of them dancing, I love that scene. It's sweet. But the reason he put it in there is because he liked them together. And that's why he wrote that scene in there.
It is a good scene. Though.
It's a good scene.
It's
but, like,
it's
I
a friendship
hate...
scene to me.
I hate whenever people who are, like, creatively in a role feel like they can
You
put
can't put your shit
their own
in.
opinion into a screenplay. Drives me nuts. They are not together.
In defense of that scene, though, I know you like it and everything. I know you don't like them as a couple. But that very much cuts, like, it's a nice, sweet moment to cut through all the tension and heartbreak
Definitely.
and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
So it's like a good uplifting.
Definitely. I just
between
don't
two best
like
friends.
the reasoning behind why he put it in there. He did not do Order of the Phoenix.
I know
He did all the others.
It'll be a little while before we get to this. But their makeout scene in the locket makes me cringe.
Oh, I can't watch it.
It's like they're eating each other's faces.
It's horrible.
It's really bad.
Did you know that they didn't tell them about that scene? They didn't. Emma and Dan didn't know they had to do that. And then one day Emma comes on set and they're like, so you have to get painted silver and you're going to be topless and you have to make out with Dan.
Snog.
And she was like,
Hey,
what?
what?
Yeah.
Dang.
Before I forget, because we're on the point of me pointing out things.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
The point of me pointing.
Well, Sarah has. The one thing she said was, like, when they're practicing the Patronus charm, and he's like, he asked what memory it was, and he's like, the first time I flew a broom. He's like, that's not good enough. That's not nearly good enough. Remus would never say that. He'd be like, you know, maybe you should pick a stronger memory.
Correct.
Or he would make it
Yeah.
much gentler.
He's softer.
But, I mean,
Yes, he's a lot softer.
I will say he coming off, he wasn't like, oh, that's not good enough. He was like, well, I feel like he said it like, I don't know, like.
That's not good enough. That's not
Yeah.
nearly good enough.
Like merely, like it almost
It could've
sounded like
been
he was
softer,
talking
though.
out loud. Yes.
Yeah, he was talking out loud. And me
It
and
just
may have
doesn't
thought.
feel like his character.
Yeah.
I
I'm
guess
not gonna
I-
say
I
I
mean-
don't like him, obviously.
And my
because I
biggest
do.
thing, like I said, with the ages, I love Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
I think he did a great job. But again, you're portraying someone in their early 30s, and you're not.
Oh my.
But again, he did a great job. But it's one of those things where you almost forget how tragic all of their lives are and were,
Yeah.
because they're all so young. Like his parents died when they were 21.
Yeah.
Like they're kids. Like we're all significantly older than what they lived to be.
Right.
Yep.
And it's something you forget about.
Yep.
They're all dead now, Sam.
That's all I got. I think.
Yeah. The one last thing I was going to ask is what you guys thought about the shrunken heads.
Oh,
On the
yeah.
night bus and in the leaky cauldron.
I love the night bus.
I
That was
love the
another
night bus
thing.
one.
The night bus was completely different. Not completely different, but like you didn't really get to hear from the other people.
I'm gonna go against the grain here. I don't really care for him.
I
What?
used to not like him, but now I
On the
I think
leaky
they're
on the
funny.
bus.
I think they're funny and they're a fun little add-in, but I would have rather seen the bus for what it is. You know, I mean, I can.
I think
They're my lettuce.
I think I would have rather seen some of the people who were riding the bus with them.
Like
Yeah.
the lady who was like green
Yes.
Yeah.
and walking off the bus.
Sick. Yeah. I
Yeah.
would have rather have seen the real bus rather than you make me laugh with some shrunken heads.
Did we hear that Ernie, the guy that was driving the bus, was married to the original fat lady?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're both dead.
Real time life?
Real time life.
Wow.
They're both, I believe, both deceased. So
I
far,
will-
two out.
I will say though that we quote the Shrunken Head, and we said this during our POA live. We always say like, make sure you eat the pea soup before it eats you. I don't
Yeah.
know why. Like I've never eaten pea soup in my life. Why
Oh,
does
it's
that
very
quote
good.
come
You
up
should
so
try it.
often?
Well, and Stan
They're fun to quote.
Yeah. Do we hear his name in the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he does say like, Muggles, they don't notice nothing, do
We
they?
say that a lot, yeah.
What you
But he
fall
says
over
that.
for?
You fall over for.
I didn't do it on purpose.
And then when he gets to Leaky Cauldron, that whole scene is different when they realize
Oh, yeah.
Wait for the
that he's
grunts
not Neville
Can we talk
Longbottom.
about Tom?
No.
Oh
we
god.
can't.
Tom is
Tom.
awful in this movie.
I don't know.
You're gonna choke.
great in the first movie. I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
he was what he should have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Throw me a cookie.
Nice drink sigh.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Do we want to move on to lightning bolt rounds?
Yeah.
People sent us some stuff. I
Yeah.
don't think we've mentioned that we're actually live right now.
Live with some patrons. So if you're not a
Yes.
patron, what you waiting for?
What you not signed up for?
We do fun stuff.
Do we though?
Yeah.
So, is this
That's Tam.
Tam? Okay.
Tam-a-lam-a-ding-dong.
Tam.
Okay.
Tim Tam. Tibbles936 says, "What's the best change from book to movie, and what is the worst in your opinion?"
Best change.
So, what did
I'm
they
secretly
make better in the movie, or what
we-
did you
Yeah.
like that
We
they added to the
literally
movie?
just talked about it and I can't remember what I was thinking. Somebody else go.
The worst, the Marauders backstory.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Wait,
I feel
what
like
Marauders
they-
backstory?
Well, I feel like they just needed to be in the movies more.
Yeah.
Like in the was it the 6th one, 5th or 6th?
The memory.
Yeah. I was so geared up for that, and I was so disappointed.
Biggest disappointment.
I was like,
It was like 2
WTF.
seconds long.
and it was all wispy. Like
Yeah.
I want a clear picture.
It was like, yeah, it was an entire chapter put down to 3 seconds.
2.5.
I think for me the
Wispy
best
2.5.
the best change, not necessarily from book to movie, but just the best part of that movie is the tone that it set. That's my favorite part of Prisoner of
Yeah.
Azkaban. It set the tone for the rest of the movies. I love the design changes that they took from the second to the third movie. How like all of the wands were now more personalized. All the colors just got a little bit darker. There
More
was like a
detail.
nice dark overlay over like the entire movie. And now I like the direction he took the Hogwarts grounds in.
Yeah.
I like it. It was shocking, like, you know, you said you didn't like it, Tiff, but like it was shocking to me seeing it the first time, but like as the movies progressed, I really just loved
I agree.
how they put the grounds together. It
I
just set
agree.
the
Well,
perfect
I will
tone.
be by myself then.
That's fine.
Because when I first saw it, I was like, WTF, everything changed, and then now having lived with it for so long, I'm like, that's probably my favorite set once it started to change into that.
Yeah.
And like you said, I'm the type of person that I like a lot of dark stuff anyways
Yeah.
and sad things. So it was right up my alley once it started getting darker. And I also really enjoyed the Quidditch scene when it was raining a lot because
Yeah.
like you really get to see like
What's this new voice
it's
that's happening?
horrible. Oh, who knows?
Oh my.
Is it gonna get a name?
Please don't. She can't keep up.
It depends if it comes back. Who knows?
It might be a one-time thing.
It might be a fleeting friend.
I really liked the Buckbeak flying scene.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
That
in the
was
book,
the change.
in the book he
The
just
music for
flies
that was
once,
great.
Yes, he flies once around the paddock, whatever it's called,
Paddock.
and then just lands. But he takes this like grounds scenery tour, and
Yeah,
Harry like
it's-
lets loose for a second.
And it's nice that we get to see all of that.
Yes.
Where normally we don't get to see all of it. That's one thing they do great, where like you get to see things in a different way. You know what I mean?
That was
Where,
another
like,
visual thing
Yeah,
for
the
him. He just
visuals.
did a lot of really great
Visual.
visual things.
Does the shack
Tree.
in the book sway?
No.
I did enjoy that
No.
But I
effect.
did like that.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
like that too.
It made everything seem so on edge.
And spooky.
Should we
and
also
haunted.
point out that it's not actually haunted?
Right?
There
Yeah.
are people
Well,
that
yeah.
think it is. No, people were talking about it on Facebook the other day. It's not actually haunted.
No,
They just
it was Lupin in his
yes,
transforming
and
days.
so
High
they just
rumors.
did not discourage those rumors.
right, they
Correct. I'm just
beefed him up.
Yeah.
correct. So
Dumbledore encouraged them.
correct.
And
So-
if Dumbledore encourages it, then people
must
think
be
it
true.
must be true.
Truth.
All right, any
All
more?
right. Libby Ryan says, "What do you think Crookshank's backstory is?"
Oh, jeez.
I don't know, but and they were talking about it in the chat. I love that theory that isn't true. I think she disproved it,
She
but
did.
that
Yeah.
that he was actually the Potter's
Potter's
cat.
cat.
Oh yeah.
That would
I
have been
want
so
it
cute.
to be true.
Maybe they
But-
were just biffs, like BFFs.
I really just feel like
Deja
Crookshanks
vu.
was a stray that somebody happened upon and brought to the magical menagerie.
Wasn't he there for a very long time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some cats, I mean, like, there's this, I'm gonna sound like a super cat leader. There's, where I adopted my cat, I follow that, adoption agency on Facebook, and there's, like, they just have cats that live there. Nobody adopts them, like, it just kind of becomes a shelter cat. just happens. I don't know why.
Yeah.
That must have been him.
Well, and I think that he was just waiting for someone where, because you get the sense that he's intelligent. Like, he's not like a regular cat. And he is part Kneasel, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who are intelligent. So I think he was just waiting for someone
He knew his
as
person.
equally as intelligent and who's going to fight for his rights.
I
And
like
you know
that.
that person was Hermione
I
because
like it.
he was not going to go down without a fight, and neither was Hermione.
I'd like
Two
to-
peas in a pod.
I'd like to think that he came from like an old witch that passed away, but was
Oh,
really
yeah.
smart and like really loved him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But then he kind of like the witch passed away, and instead of like being cooped up with someone he didn't like, he took off.
I
Mm.
like that.
Yeah.
I like.
Waited
like
for
that.
his little Hermione.
He knew. What else we got?
What was, or Mary ISU says, what was Hermione's worst memory that Dementors made her remember?
I mean, didn't it say failing? But I think
But,
there's
like,
something more.
What if?
No, that's a boggart.
That's her.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
What
I thought
if there
that
was
too.
like a moment where, as a kid, she's magical, and we know, at least with her, that she's very intelligent and she's a powerful witch. That her parents didn't know what was happening, and maybe she like overheard a conversation.
I literally
Oh.
I literally just thought maybe she overheard them thinking something was wrong with her.
Or like,
Before she knew what was
Yes.
up.
or like saying like maybe they were having troubles with it, and her parents were saying. Because no one's perfect, and I'm sure that there are parents out there that have said things,
Even just out of worry.
yes, that their kid will be like, I don't know why they, like,
Can
they
you
must hate
see,
me, all that stuff. And,
like little
that,
Hermione peeking around a corner.
Yeah.
And her parents are like discussing this.
that
That's
makes me
what
want
I
to cry
see.
a little bit. So we gotta probably move on.
All right.
It's just sad.
Yeah.
Stephanie Price asks, what would have been the first thing you did in Hogsmeade on your first trip?
Eat.
Gotten a butterbeer.
Butterbeer.
Yeah,
Butterbeer.
butterbeer and some bangers and mash.
And then I would have gone to Honeydukes.
Oh
Sounds
yeah.
good.
Get some chocolate.
All the food.
I'd also want to go to the bookstore.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, look at all the books.
I do like a bookstore. They smell good.
Yeah, I was just thinking how
I would
good
have gone to like
bookstores smell.
Scriven Shafts is in Hogsmeade, right? And I think
so,
that
yeah.
that's where they sell quills,
I like a new quilt.
stationery stuff. Oh
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the staples of the Wizarding World.
Oh yeah.
I have a friend that I'm known for liking a lot of shoes. Not only will she not go in a shoe store with me, but now she won't go into a bookstore with me because I will look at every single aisle, typically twice,
Yeah.
before I leave. Sometimes buying no books.
That's all of them.
Thank you guys for submitting some lightning bolt questions.
Do you guys have any lightning bolts?
I really don't.
Of lightning?
No.
What are you excited about for the next book?
Something new.
To
Something
like,
dark. We're getting dark and we're
Mhm.
tying stuff up.
yeah.
Putting together pieces. We're gonna have a lot.
I'm really excited for
This is
Katie
gonna
to fall in
take
love
us
with this book again
A
because
long time.
It's crazy because like I'm starting to read it. I've been reading it and I'm like prepping things and you start looking something up and then 'cause I haven't read this book in years. So then I found like a little tidbit of something. I'm like, oh my god, I forgot that happened. It's an enormous plot and it was gone. So I can't wait to just read this book again.
Yeah, same here.
Same
I too
with
haven't
5,
read
6,
it.
7.
I haven't read. I want to say I haven't read 4, 5, and 6 in a very long time.
Yes.
Because I typically read.
Mhm.
I read 7 a lot. I read 1 a lot, and I would
7 a
read
lot.
1, 2, and then stop like at 3, just because I would just,
Read something else.
yeah. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see like Voldemort and
Yeah.
the tasks, and even just reading it now. It's just so different from what I remember. I'm like, oh my gosh, like Katie was saying, like I forgot that happened, and now knowing so much more about Moody not being Moody, unless you didn't know. I'm like, gosh, like how did Dumbledore not know? Like how did he
Yeah.
not know?
He knows everything, man.
And then I realized this. Well, it's for another book, but I was like, I realized the day that they're going to Hogwarts is the day that Moody, I'm guessing, like gets not kidnapped, but it kind of essentially, yeah,
the dustbin thing.
Yeah, like,
that's
it's so
whenever Barty
crazy that-
Crouch
Yeah.
kidnaps him.
over my head. Every time I read it, right over my head, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like, that's the
Yeah.
day, and I'm like scribbling in my
Well,
book.
You know how we talk about like how no one's perfect? I'm gonna defend my man right now.
That's Dumbledore's one thing that he
Like,
really
he
messes
didn't-
up.
He realized it just a smidge too late while
Well-
everybody was at the maze, and then he realized it and he was like, well, let me go find Harry because something's
One
not right.
one would say he found out in the nick of time.
No. Fan story. Fan story.
All right. So this week's fan story comes from Logan Seabolt. Like a
Last
firebolt,
name.
but a Seabolt.
Okay. That was a reach.
I went with it.
So she says, "Hey guys, my name is Logan. I'm 18 years old and a sophomore in college. My Potter story is about as out of order as one can get. Growing up, I was never introduced to the books, and my only exposure to the series was the movies. It wasn't until my sophomore year in high school that I became interested in reading the books, and I asked for the box set for Christmas. Shout out to my grandparents.
Nice.
As I started reading, a friend asked to borrow books 4 through 7, and to my deepest regret, I let her. I didn't get them back until this past August 2018, so this same year. This past June 2018, my boyfriend and I visited the Wizarding World at Universal Orlando. At this point, I had seen all the movies and visited the Wizarding World. I had seen all the movies and visited the Wizarding World before reading the series. Sadly. After getting my books back, I started over from book 1 and was instantly hooked. I quickly learned that the movies, although amazing, simply do not compare to reading the story in all of its detail. Isn't this a perfect story?
I was just saying, like, what a great fan story for this app.
Within a month, I had finished the entire series, including Cursed Child. I discovered your podcast while reading the books and loved listening to and laughing with you all during my 2-hour drive to class every week.
Oof. It's a long drive.
My Hogwarts house is Slytherin. What up, Megan? That wasn't me, that was Logan. My Ilvermorny house is Thunderbird.
I thought it was you.
No,
And I thought you were going to be like, that wasn't me, that was Megan. And I was like, no, it was you.
Check out this next thing.
My Ilvermorny house is Thunderbird. My Patronus is a dolphin.
Hey.
That's
What up, Katie?
That wasn't me.
Wait, did she actually say that?
No.
I'm sorry, we're butchering your story. And my wand is aspen wood with the dragon heart string, 10 1/4 inches with reasonably supple flexibility. Although different, I think my story proves that Hogwarts can bring anyone home, no matter their age or where they are in life.
Preach.
I think it is safe to say that I am obsessed and emotionally connected to the Potter world. Thank you all for creating a space that has only deepened my love for the series and our fandom.
Mm-hmm.
I just need to say a little blurb to all of our listeners. Never lend people your Potter books.
Honest to God.
Oh, no, I feel so
I'm
bad.
guessing some of the hard copy that aren't technically mine anyways because they're my dad's. Have no idea because it was years ago, high school. So
I do not give out my Potter books.
I never have.
Also, let my cousin borrow the movies and have not gotten them back, but that's okay.
I let somebody borrow the movies, but she was very trustworthy, and she did give them all back to me, thankfully. It took a while, but I got them. But that is very rare for me to do.
But thank you for your story.
Yes, thank you.
I love that last line.
And I hope that
doesn't matter.
No one should feel bad about how they got into
Yeah.
No.
And like even if you haven't read all of the books, I still love you.
Yeah.
You're here, and I'm sorry that you're confused.
Just listen to us. We'll tell you what happens.
We'll just confuse you more.
Give you all the deets.
Spoiler alert, a lot of people die.
I did read a message from somebody that said that she was reading for the first time while listening to us, and I was like, I hope that
well,
we
you're like, I know, or someone else is saying like, I know you have a lot of spoilers. They're like, is this like
a good?
And we're like,
podcast
no, it's not the one for you. Like, which episode Rose was like, spoiler alert, Dumbledore's dead, and someone was like, I literally spit my coffee out.
No, somebody else was like, I love how you guys give spoiler alerts after you say it. So like, we'll be like, Dumbledore's dead. Spoiler alert.
But like about my Dumbly that way.
99% of the people already know that.
Snape's dead. Spoiler alert.
Fred's dead.
Spoiler alert.
Dobby's dead.
Spoiler alert.
Sirius is dead.
Spoiler alert.
This got really
Snape's a
depressing.
good guy. What?
Lots of other things. Anyways.
All right, so Swish and Flick Podcast can be found on all the different social media platforms. We are Swish and Flick Podcast on Facebook and Swish Flickcast on Twitter and Instagram. You can also find us on YouTube and subscribe to our channel. Puff's Pastry is live.
It's live.
It's live.
Do it live.
Took him long enough. We don't even talk to him anymore.
Oh That's a lie.
That's not
Speaking
true.
of our friend Ezra, we will be in New York on November 24th to see the History of Magic exhibit and do a meetup with our good friend Ezra.
You keep
So-
saying this, he's gonna flake on us.
Shout out to Kirk 2006.
So if anybody wants any info on that at all, it's on our Facebook group. So make sure that you join it and then check the events and all of the info's there. I do believe that the time that we're going to the exhibit is sold out. However, we are going to do a meetup beforehand. So we'll be posting in that group when...
In the middle of NYC.
Yeah. Yep. We're just going to be standing in the middle of Times Square.
You have to find
us.
them. You can feel it in your bones.
I feel it in my fingers.
No.
I feel it in my toes.
Shout out to myself here because Stephanie Price on the chat said, "Oh my god, it was so good, puff pastry. Very impressive, Katie." What?
Can we
not Ezra?
Can we talk
Not
about
Ezra, no.
how he...
No, you gotta make him watch it.
No, I'm not gonna say how he did it, but how he separated the egg yolk.
You guys
Oh
hate
my
it.
my god.
I died.
Oh my
And
God.
then I show you the correct way. Well, one of the correct ways. I guess his technically worked, but please watch it because words. There are no words. You can also watch me be super anxious about someone cooking in my kitchen.
Yeah.
I mean, it is though.
It's mine.
No, seriously.
So you can also find and support us on Patreon for exclusive access to the Felix Files, which is our bi-monthly bonus episodes. You have a chance to be a guest on the Felix Files and join us for our monthly Zoom hangouts. So head on over to patreon.com/swishflickcast. You also get access to these episodes live every now and then. We don't do every single episode live, but we sporadically do them, and our patrons have access to that as well. So shout out and thank you to all of our current patrons. We love you, and this podcast would not be
You're welcome.
possible without your support, so thank you.
Facts.
Lastly, you can check out our website, swishflickcast.com, to get all of the info on us. Yes,
And our new Azkaban
merchandise,
Yeah,
which
merch.
Katie will be
Some merch.
posting
this
before
weekend.
this episode goes live. So,
Can
That's
I
cool.
ask a lightning bolt question?
No.
Are we gonna have Christmas merch?
yes. Yes.
Yes.
Cool.
I need more merch.
I am
I agree.
thinking maybe we should work on that on our long drive to New York.
I need to be like a walking swish and flick billboard.
My other thing, I want all of you people listening right now. You have headphones in, you might be listening out in the open,
Or in your car.
you know.
Are you in the wild? Are you listening in the wild?
Wherever you are, I want you to tell us what Katie should make next. And possibly their friend Ezra.
Oh, on puff pastry.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, tell us.
Can't be an apple pie. Katie knows
Yes,
how to
it
make that.
can.
No.
Apple pie.
Yeah,
Someone
somebody suggested apple pie, and Katie was like, "Yeah, let's do it. I'll do so
we,
good."
we tend to make apple pies every year. When I say one, it's like 20.
Yeah.
Literally every year for
Didn't-
the past 4 years.
I just made my own creation the other day and it wasn't awful.
She did. She made pumpkin pie with cinnamon roll crust.
Ooh.
Little mini individual pumpkin pies.
Now I think it would be
Katie.
phenomenal
Yes.
with an apple pie. I love a good cinnamon roll. I
It's
love
supposed
cinnamon.
to be apple, but I switched it to pumpkin. 'cause
That's
I
right.
was
I'm not
doing
a big
something.
pumpkin fan.
We do a food club.
Yeah, 'cause we're fancy. Okay, so plugging other projects. Tiffany, what's going on in your life?
I got a daughter.
My daughter! She's a lady! I love Bill Burr. Please listen. Raising little Alana Rose. It's going well. Teaching small children, 20 of them, first grade. We just did a bat unit. It was pretty epic.
That's fun.
Yeah, they love saying echolocation.
Did they get batty while you guys were learning?
They're always batty. What else am I doing? Petting my pooch. Loving my man. Oh, can we have positive vibes and prayers for my grandmother?
Yeah.
Yes.
She broke her leg the other day, you guys. It sucks. So, and she is like a mover and a shaker. She doesn't stop.
It's a good thing though that she'll
She'll do rehab.
Yeah.
probably, then.
Oh, yeah, she's gonna go to rehab for a little bit, and then she's gonna be bouncing around from house to house for a little while with the.
But that's
Her
a good
son
thing. She's got
sons
some
and daughters.
gumption, you know?
Oh,
Get up, move. It's a good thing.
can't keep her down. So send that her way, please. Her name is Judy.
Judy.
Grandma Judy.
I've met her. She's a wonderful lady.
She's fantastic. She's awesome. So that's me.
So, Katie and I are super busy because we do way too many things.
Yep.
We've got a really cool little project in the works for grown-up kids for our Disney listeners.
What's a Disney?
I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I'm going to tell you that it's going to be announced on our episode that's coming out on November 25th. So look for that. And then also, a lot of people are interested in how our trip was overseas, and I am going to be working on a little trailer for our vlogs that will be coming out so that you can see just like a little glimpse of everything that we did, and then we will be posting weekly vlogs.
Are you just vlogging that, or are you podcasting that?
We're gonna do both. So
I was gonna say you should drop the Potter specific stuff to.
Yeah,
for sure.
We will.
Tiffany, you were there for that conversation. Thank you, and good night.
So yeah, we vlogged the entire trip, and those will be on our Main Street 9 3/4 YouTube channel. However, I'm gonna put together some like specifically Potter footage that will drop on the Swish and Flick channel, as well as Katie and I are going to do trip podcasts in December. So look for those.
Are you ready for it?
Do we want to tell them how the schedule's gonna go?
We can.
Because we're gonna do essentially the next 4 episodes besides this one, are Goblet, and then we're gonna have a break for Christmas, and you're gonna just hear Megan and Katie talk about their trip for 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
And then we're gonna go back to Goblet.
That was a good.
Just warning you now.
And in the meantime, I'm gonna bulk my nose.
Yeah.
Yeah. We want to hit the new year hard.
We don't have any docs ready yet. For after that.
Oh, okay. I was like,
We have the next. Technically, I have the
Sarah
next
and I
5
can
months.
make them. She comes over, I'm sure.
I'm never gonna see you again. Do you guys have anything else?
No.
Are you,
No,
you,
they
you
don't.
do Accio designs and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
Buy their
Accio
posters.
designs.
They're pretty cool.
Guys, we
Also,
have so much going on.
Megan's mom, and I'm not saying this because I love her mother, makes the best blankets
They're
and
the
scarves.
warmest things.
Oh
And
my
you can
god.
get them on
Accio
Designs
Designs.
on Etsy.
They're very well made.
We've been having a lot of listeners order. My mom has
Yeah.
been knitting non-stop for like 2 months.
My fingers hurt.
Well,
Your back
I just
full landscaping duty.
I totally said that to her like 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Did she get it?
Yeah. Yeah, she did.
Shout out to Mama P because she's been
She
working
loves
hard.
making them, and actually,
Each one is made
she
with love.
is
And
she's using all of the funds to fund her first big vacation to Disney in many a years. So like anything that we sell goes into a little Disney fund pile for her so that we can actually do like a week-long Disney vacation with my mom.
I can't wait for you to plan my Disney vacay.
Oh, I love planning Disney vacations. I just planned my boss's. She just got back.
I really just want to go when the Star Wars stuff opens, and like I know it's gonna be crazy
Wait, that'd be
expensive.
Insane.
I just want to stay in the hotel because isn't it like interactive?
Yep.
Yeah. You get like a role. It's like role playing.
I'm
Alana
not
Force
super good
chose
at that.
Sarah today. I just want to point that out.
I saw that picture.
Thank you. I took it, and I also besides the long sleeve shirt that was underneath her onesie, bought that entire outfit.
It's cute.
You're welcome. I have nothing going on. I'm trying to plan some trips for next
You
year.
babysit Alana.
Yeah, I watch Alana every Friday, so it's my favorite day of the week.
Where are you planning trips to?
Well, I'm going. This is gonna make me sound
To the
like
bathroom.
I don't plan those; it just happens. I'm going to New York twice in February, and then
Oh
We're
yeah.
all going to New York in February.
yeah, but not twice.
We're going
It's
twice.
not-
We're going
Tiffany's
skiing.
twice, but we're not really
I'm
going
not gonna
skiing.
go skiing. I'm gonna drink.
Really, I'm gonna drink in a hot tub. Maybe just sit in a
Sarah's
hot
gonna cook
tub.
herself like a lobster.
And then my mom was talking about going to California. I don't know if that's happening, and maybe Aruba. My best friend is getting married next year, so she's thinking about having. This makes her sound like such a snot. She really isn't. We might go to Aruba for her bachelorette party.
Down to Kokomo.
See, they only do it when I'm talking because they really hate me.
I didn't
And they don't
quite
hear about my
hear
life.
that.
Guys, tell me what I should be when I grow up because I need a new job. That's it. This is what I'm working on.
Star
Getting a
Destroyer
job,
Captain.
going back to school, and traveling.
Where should Katie and I go next? Tell us.
The
Yep.
moon.
We went to the moon in 1969. Not 1970, but a year sooner.
Alrighty. Shall we close this up?
Because this is getting ridiculous. So.
That's me closing the book on it.
Oh. See you later, prisoner of Azkaban. It's been
Bye.
real.
We'll see you later.
We will see. I think we'll see it later after we do a roundabout, and then we'll come back to doing some stuff. It'll be like a circle.
And you know what?
The circle
You aren't
gets
gonna
the
live too much
square.
longer. And for that, we apologize. Pouring out in advance for the prisoner of Azkaban.
Thank you, Azkaban.
Thanks, Azkaban.
It's been a hoot.
And that's where we need to stop. That concludes this week's episode. Thank you so much for listening, and don't let the muggles get you down.
You know what I learned last week? That
Dogs don't lay eggs.
Is that from something? What did I tell you last week that I was like, oh, people were saying like I'm today's year old and whatever. And whenever I told you, you're like, no, I didn't know that I'm today years old when I learned. It was something really funny, and I wish I remember what it was. But I learned last week that these are the chairs for my grandmother's like dining room table. And I said it to me, I'm like, oh, no wonder why I didn't recognize them. Like, we weren't allowed in that room. But I'm like, Grandma, look at me now.
You said these were the tears from my grandma.
I keep that in a file.
Hey, you know what's funny? I always thought that dogs lay eggs.
What was that joke that Jimmy, no, Dave Chappelle joke? Do you remember that? You
No!
kept telling us what it was.
No,
You're a horrible human.
it's not very nice.
POA.
POA. Power of attorney is what I hear every time. Guys, talk to us.
I have to go.
Tiffany, can you believe it? Did your kid eat? Oh.
I assume so.
We can leave this here. Yay. True. Even my computer.
So,
No, we need to edit this.
We'll retransfer it.
Oh, okay.
Technology.
I know.
We have the power!
So Joelle messaged this guy on Bumble, and she was like, hey, sweetheart, how are you doing? And he's like, just making America great again, you. And she said, she goes, LMFAO, ew. And he goes, that's right, baby. And then she goes, Trump supporter. He goes, immigrant and Trump backer.
How?
Jen just goes, sir. Joel sends an emoji like this. And then Tiffany or Bridget goes, I feel like that's an oxymoron.
Honestly.
It doesn't make sense to me, but it's none of my business.
I want to thank everybody for watching. You guys are awesome. We have 7 people right now.
That's pretty cool.
Hello, 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 hello.
My hands smell like spit up.
Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Yeah. Do you think I'm gonna sleep tonight?
We are 10 subscribers. Oh no, we're 50. We're 50 subscribers away from 1,000 on YouTube, guys.
Push and play.
Yeah.
You guys want to see a monkey eat something out of the water?
No. As a matter of
Go in
fact.
the water!
As a matter of fact.
I really don't care for monkeys because they creep me out.
I hate monkeys.
Oh, that's
That's a
some
little
strong
harsh.
words, guys.
I don't like them.
Monkey see, monkey do.
Monkey pee all over.
I saw the other day on the news that they had a GoPro in I forget which zoo it was or where it was, but these monkeys found it, and so they had all this footage of them like looking at the camera trying to figure out what it was and then like yanking on it
Look.
and pulling on it.
Look at these monkeys.
Look at it!
Look at it!
The one fell in!
Oh wait, I missed that.
Oh, shut up.
I wanna
Look
see
at
that
how
one
cute
fall
these
in.
people are.
I can't. Hold on, I gotta watch this monkey fall in the water.
God.
Who is that?
Those are our people that stepped
I
on
am
it.
aware.
Those are
Oh
our
my
people,
god, they're
those are
all
my
so
sisters.
We
cute.
should put that on our Instagram. We gotta ask them.
Guys, send us this picture.
Can they hear you?
Guys!
Send us a picture!
Sorry.
Jesus,
She
Mary
can't
and
hear us.
Joseph.
That's not nice to say.
Somebody, or not somebody, Stephanie Price said, instead of a vacation next year, you should plan a SwisherCon.
Oh my gosh.
Swish
Would
or
anybody
cut.
come?
Swish or cut.
Guys,
Could.
would you really come
They
to that
decorate for
if we
Christmas?
planned it?
Perhaps.
There's a garland.
Yeah,
They
we
don't
decorate for
celebrate
Christmas.
Thanksgiving in the UK.
That's not what I was getting at.
All I'm saying is, why wouldn't they sell? We're like the David picture.
You mean Adam?
E.T. Who painted it?
Michelangelo.
What?
Michelangelo.
Leonardo. DiCaprio.
One of the turtles did it. I don't know.
Okay.
Donatello. Who knows?
Goodbye.
I'm trying to